Let's do this, and we are good to go. Hey guys, how you going? So BKR Sport, we are live as the New Zealand Warriors will be playing host to the Penrith Panthers in what could have been a very, very good game to watch. It could have been. It could have is a very, very key word here. The reason I say this is because, unfortunately, due to the fact that Penrith players, they had quite a few of them playing in Origin over in Perth, we know how long that flight is. We know there is a big gap between Perth and Auckland where this game is being played. Unfortunately, the Panthers players have not been able to back it up here today. And that's not because of their own choices. That is because of the NRL scheduling. And I really disagree with it. They would have known that Panthers would have a lot of players out for Origin at this moment, you know, going in past the Origin game in Perth, which they would have known about last September, would have known about last August. Whenever they did the draw last year, they knew this was coming. So I'm really disappointed that the NRL decided to put the Panthers travelling all the way over to New Zealand on this day, but that doesn't have any care factor for the Warriors because they should win this game. They really should. Like, based on the fact that, you know, they've pretty much got a full team in. Obviously, Kurt Capewell won't be playing due to the fact that he's in the same situation where he was playing Origin for Queensland on Wednesday. But look, ultimately, Warriors fans, you should be chirping. You should be absolutely chirping they can't play their players because realistically, this should be a victory for you if you're thinking that you are a big-time team this season long term. But all right, guys, let's get into the two-team lineups here for today's game. Then we'll get into the ladder, and then we'll see what the chat's saying. Obviously, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Don't forget, we've got 3 games today. So the game after this is the Dolphins versus Newcastle, which is actually over there in Perth, and then later on tonight, we have the Rabbitohs taking on the Melbourne Storm at Accor Stadium in Sydney, in the old Sydney. So, big day of rugby league, and we've got 3 games again tomorrow. But alright, so when we go to the Warriors, they are in 3rd position, with the Panthers coming into this game in 9th position, and this is at Go Media Stadium over there in Auckland. The NC for the Wires, Moala Graham Talfa and Wade Egan comes back, with the outs being Kurt Capewell and Tane Tuolpiki. The fullback is Charles Neil Klukstad, with the wingers being Dallin Watene-Zelezniak and Moala Graham Talfa. No, not Moala Graham Talfa, sorry. Dallin Watene-Zelezniak and Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. The centres are Adam Pompey and Moala Graham Talfa. I'm getting confused because there is 4 double-barreled last names in that first 5. There is 4 double-barreled last names in that that 1 through 5. That's crazy. We've got another one here in 5/8, which is Chanel Harris-Tavita, and the halfback is Luke Metcalf. We go to another double-barreled last name of James Fisher-Harris and Morata Nyakwore in the front row, with Wade Egan as the number 9. Back row is Leka Halasima and Jacob Laban, with Aaron Clark, the big old Ez, in the 13. We go to the interchange, Tamati Martin, Jackson Ford, Dimitri Vaimalga, and considering the way this has gone so far, we need to finish off with a double-barreled last name, and that is Tanner Stowers-Smith. The 18th man replacement is Samuel Healy, and the coach is Andrew Webster. This is a good Warriors team. Obviously, you know, they've been proving everybody wrong this season, especially me. Pretty much everybody. I don't even know why I said especially me, because everybody had the Warriors to struggle this year. Post Sean Johnson going into a new, direction with their team, and they've just been able to prove everybody wrong. Obviously, they started off really rough against the Raiders over there in Vegas, 30-8 loss. But again, the Raiders are second right now, and arguably first. You want to give them their buys, but then they went on a bit of a rampage, the Wars, and they won 36-16 over Manly, 14-6 over the Roosters, beat the Tigers 26-24. Had a bye. The concern, then they lost to the Storm 42-14. Beat the Broncos 20-18, beat the Knights 26-12, beat the Cowboys 30-26, the Dragons 15-14, the Dolphins 16-12, then lost to the Raiders 16-10, a win over the Rabbitohs 36-30, and then coming off the back of a fantastic win at Shark Park a couple of weeks ago before their bye, where they won 40-10. So, what you look at in regards to the draw there is that so far they haven't taken on the Dogs. Now, they take on the Dogs for the first time in round 23, which is super disappointing that it takes so long for us to see that matchup there, because they'll tell us a lot. Because ultimately, yes, the Sharks win was fantastic, but the Sharks aren't in the top 4. The teams in the top 4 are the Bulldogs, the Raiders, the Warriors, and the Storm. So the Warriors haven't played the Bulldogs. They have played the Raiders twice and lost to them twice, and also have played the Storm once and lost to the Storm. So there is that concern there that, yeah, look, at least the Sharks are a high-placed team. There's a reason why they're on scam right now still, though. If they win against the Broncos tomorrow, then we'll probably put them in fraud alert. But the point is that the Warriors have not beaten a top 4 team so far this season. They've still beaten plenty of good teams, But it's just something to really keep an eye on. The fact that they haven't been able to get over the hump against the teams that are in their immediate vicinity of the top four. But the Warriors have been a solid team this year. They should be expected to win this game based on the fact they've got basically a full strength lineup going up against a very much weakened Panthers team here, who also haven't been going too well this season. Yes, obviously they're up there amongst the top 8 still, but then again, so technically is everybody in the 17 teams. The Titans, the Eels, and the Knights are on 12 points. We'll get into that later in a second, but they're all whoever. If you get a win this weekend, then 2 of those teams, because the Titans and Eels play each other, but 2 of those teams will actually be only 2 points out of the 8. So that's how close this season is at the moment. And yeah, look, the Panthers, they've not had a great season, but also have a very much weakened lineup here today. So you would expect the Wise to win. Now, the ins here for the Panthers: Dane Laurie, Jack Cole, Liam Henry, Matty Eisenhuth, Paul Alamotti, and Trent To'alau. With the outs being Brian To'o, Dylan Edwards, Isaiah Yeo, Liam Martin, Luke Summerton, and Nathan Cleary. So obviously 5 outs there for the Panthers that they did not choose. It was not their choice. They literally were not able to play them in this game. Now, the fullback is Dane Laurie, with the wingers being Thomas Jenkins and Paul Alamonti. Centres of Isaac Tungor and Casey McLean. Number 6 is Blaze Talangi, with the 7 being Brad Schneider. You go to the front row forwards of Moses Leota and Lindsay Smith, with the number 9 being Mitch Kenny, who is the captain. Back row is Scotty Sorensen, and Luke Garner comes in. He was originally 17, but they've now pushed him into the back row. And then Isaiah Papali'i actually pushes from that 12 into the 13 spot, with Matty Eisenhuth dropping to the interchange. Interchange is Eisenhuth, Trent To'alau, Liam Henry, and Luron Patea, with the reserves, with the 18th man replacement being Jack Cole, and the coach is Ivan Cleary. This is a big game here for the Panthers. If they can find a way to win over here in New Zealand, it would be absolutely miraculous. They really shouldn't be expecting a win here today. They really should be coming in with no expectations but high hopes, because there's just so many of their starting lineup out. And usually they are able to kind of hold their own during the Origin period, but I don't know. I worry for them today, considering that this Warriors team is much better this year, and also it's all the way over there in New Zealand. It's not in Penrith, right? And they don't even have a technical home stadium this year, Penrith, because they're actually playing at Combank Stadium, which is the home of the Parramatta Eels, because their stadium's being rebuilt. So big, not necessarily transitioning, a little bit of a transitioning year, I guess, for the Panthers, a little bit. But it's not like a rebuild. It's not even really a retool. So yeah, transitioning probably would be the right word there. But look, I'm going to take the Warriors here today. I do think that the Warriors more so do like a nice little 1-12 victory, where they don't just kind of guarantee and prove it to you that they're a genuine competitive team for the premiership this year. They've proven to us that they're definitely a top 4 team, or definitely should be in the top 4 by the end of the season. But there's a lot of games where they go through the Warriors where they just haven't necessarily given you the full oomph behind it. Now, the Sharks did. The Warriors beating the Sharks 40-10 in Cronulla. That was a big oomph victory that you'd be super happy with, and you do look at and go, okay, shit, this Wise team, they're really starting to prove it against the bigger teams on the table now, because although the Sharks have been quite shithouse this year, the fact is they're still 5th, so that's the highest placed team they've beaten. So look, I'm going to take the Warriors. I'll take them 1-12, but there's every right and opportunity, and they really should be winning this game 13+. If there was a game for them to target points differential wise, it probably is this game, despite the fact the Panthers are in 11th and they are pushing back up to the top 8 contention. This should be a game the Warriors should be pointing out and saying we should fix our points differential right now. Because when you go to the ladder, the Warriors are on 24 points at the moment, which is 2 points below the Raiders on 26 and 4 points below the Bulldogs on 28. But 2 points above the Storm on 22. They're 6 points above the 5th place Sharks on 18 points, so that's okay. But it goes 22, 24, 26, 28. So a very big game for the Warriors to really keep themselves up there with that top table team of the Bulldogs and also the second place team of the Raiders. But their points differential is plus 35, whilst the Raiders have a plus 100 and the Bulldogs have a plus 98, and the Storm, don't even think about it, they're plus 171. So 150 odd points better than the Warriors points differential wise. They've scored 107 more points. No, 113 more points the Storm over the Warriors, and have actually conceded 23 points less than them. So the Storm are the Warriors are vulnerable. They are super vulnerable there. But if the Warriors win this game, they would go to 26 points. Now, they would have to win this game by 65 points to go above the Raiders. That's pretty much out of the equation. But if they do it, great. But the point is that they're more than likely, if they win this game, no, they will finish in third position if they win this game, but just really try to push yourself back up into that points differential battle there. Now, if you lose this game here, the Storm play the Rabbitohs not the next game, but the game after today, on the third game of the day. The Storm are expected to win that game. It is at a core stadium, not down there at Melbourne. It's not down there at Amy Park. But the Storm are very much expected to win that game. So, if you lose this game, you will be going into fourth, provided the Storm win, because your points differential is 150 worse than them. So you would drop to fourth. But you don't really have to worry too much in the near future, maybe the long-term future, but the near future, about anybody taking your top four spot from you, because regardless, if the Sharks lose to the Broncos tomorrow, I would nearly say the top four is not. It's not locked in. Like it's not locked in 16 rounds in, but it's close enough. Like it would be close enough. So like it would be a 6-point gap between them and the fifth place team. So you wouldn't really be concerned too much about that spot. But it just would push you away from getting that home final in the first game of the finals in first or second. You'd still get a home final at some point, first or second week. But the point is that, yes, you really want to keep yourself up there with the Dogs and the Raiders. Now, on the other side, you do have the Penrith Panthers, who are in 11th position. They're on 15 points right now, which is equal with the Cowboys. Obviously, those two teams had a draw, and it's funny that both their seasons are pretty much the exact same right now, except for the fact the points differential of the Cowboys is absolutely dreadful of minus 106, and the Panthers are at minus 9, so not great, but the points differential doesn't matter for these two teams unless they're going up against each other, which is exactly where they're at right now. So the Panthers are much more superior. They're about 100. They are 97, 98 odd points differential better. I think it's 97 point differential better than the Cowboys. So the positive for the Cowboys, right, and I know they're not playing this game, but the positive for the Cowboys is that they are away with their awful points differential, which is actually the second worst points differential in the comp. With their awful points differential, it doesn't matter for 15 of the other teams. But it does matter when you've got the Panthers there on the exact same amount of points as you. So that's the only concern there for North Queensland. But look, if the Panthers were to lose this game, they would have to lose by 100 points to go below the Cowboys. Good luck with that one. With that being said, though, the Cowboys take on the Roosters tomorrow. So the Panthers could drop below the Cowboys. I actually have tipped the Cowboys tomorrow, funnily enough, against the Chooks. Roosters fans, close your eyes, block your ears. But if the Cowboys won, the Panthers would go to 12. Tigers have already played, so don't worry about that. Rabbitohs play the Storm later on today. They're on 14 points, so if they win, then the Panthers would drop into 13th position, provided, again, the Cowboys win, and then nobody else can catch them. So the lowest that the Panthers could drop in is 13th, but I do have the Storm to beat the Rabbitohs. However, I do think the Cowboys may sneak it against the Roosters, so I'd probably have you in 12th position. Now, if you won this game, however, you would jump immediately above the Dragons, who have had their bye, and you would also jump above the Roosters for now, but again, the Roosters play the Cowboys. You would also jump above the Manly Seagulls, who have had their bye. The Broncos are on 16 points as well, so you jump above them, but they play the Sharks tomorrow. And then the Dolphins play the Knights after this, but you would jump above them for the time being as well. So you would actually jump into 6th position with a win here, Penrith. You would jump into 6th position, and Manly the Dragons can't jump back above you. Roosters have an interesting game. The Broncos have a very interesting game, but I would expect the Dolphins to win. So you're probably going to be finishing off in about 8th position. You would probably finish off in 8th position. But either way, you'd be in the top 8. And that'd be, a huge surprise considering the first part of the season. Now, with this being said, like I said, I am tipping the Warriors here today. There is no excuses for them. They need to be winning this one. The Panthers are super vulnerable in 2025, and that's with a full team, let alone a team with 5 of their origin stars out. You're at home here in New Zealand, which isn't necessarily over, history as dominant as Warriors fans would like to admit, but it's still a place that they should be winning today. So, guys, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, let's get to the chat, let's see what you're saying, and let me know your predictions for this game. King's Iron says up the Waz. Not how you spell Waz, son. That's definitely not how you spell Waz, champion. Mitchell, member for 23 months. Get around you. Mitchell says Laurie for a 5-fer. Dane Laurie for a 5-fer. Gee whiz. Acidics Ankle says double barrel last names are the key to Waz victories. Yeah, well, you've got a bloody bunch of them. Gee whiz. This has got to be a record for most double barrel last names ever, surely. Charles Noel Krukstad, Dallin Martinez-Lesniak, Moala Graham Talfa, Roger Tuivasa Shek, Chanel Harris Tavita, James Fisher Harris, that's 6. And then there's also Terrence Dowell-Smith, that's 7. You've got 7 players in your 17 today that are double-barreled last names. That's actually that's crazy. That's that's crazy. Why are people spelling Waz with a W-H-A rather than a W-A-H? I don't know what's happening here. There's multiple comments now. So Panthers now running out onto the field in their beautiful pink jerseys. Leo Craft says hello. Hello, Leo Craft. Ibrahim says, if Panthers win this game, it just sums up the season. Yeah, you're right. And this is when I did that collaborative post. If you guys aren't following me on Instagram, go click on the pinned comment there in the chat. But this is why I did a collaborative post with the Touchline boys, and we did our tips this week. And I tipped a lot of the favourites in the first 4 to 5 games. First 4 games, I tipped all favourites, like Raiders, tipped Panthers, tipped Dolphins, and I tipped the Storm, right? But I felt sick doing that because there's so many upsets this round. There's so many, not this round, there's so many upsets this season. So it felt really strange to kind of go all in on those favourites the first 4 games. If there is a potential upset, I probably wouldn't be necessarily looking at this one. I'd probably be looking at the Knights and Dolphins game. But knowing how the season is, this absolutely could happen. It just happens at random points that you just never would have expected. Shai says, up the Waz. There we go. We got Waz spelled correctly. Broggy Sports, hello. Highlands fans, Warriors 13 plus. Hey, at least you can watch them today, Highlands fan. They are at home. At least you can watch them today, mate. Deary me, Highlands fan. Shocking you only support this team when they're at home. But the Warriors running out onto the field at Mount Smart. I actually love this stadium, man. Well, I went there for the first time last year. Maybe I'm a bit biased because we did get a win there, the Titans. But and it was Anzac Day, so it was a huge special occasion. It was my first time in New Zealand. But I loved it. I thought it was great. The atmosphere was solid, despite they did have a mountain of possession that last 10-15 minutes to try and win it, but obviously the Wires couldn't. Yeah, I love this stadium, man. So also, this is Fisher Harris's first game up against the Penrith Panthers. No, I think this is his first game back up against the Panthers since obviously switching last season from them to come across here to New Zealand. But all right, here we go. Come on, Moses Leota. I'm going to need you to be the man today. You're going to need to, well, to be fair, he's needed to be the man for a very long time. Let's just refresh this score as well before we get Jay Hayes coming in here complaining. Oh, it's already there. Don't worry, it's already been refreshed. But all right, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, Panthers. We'll kick it off here to the Wires and give you your score predictions in le chat. So the Warriors will grab this ball. They'll bring it out to the 15 through Fisher Harris, who gets crunched back to the 10. Damn, that was a really good defensive tackle there by Moses Leota on his ex-front row teammate, and he was letting him know about it too. Jay says, oh, no, you did not refresh the score, Jay. You did not. No, you did not. You didn't say anything about it. You're not a magician, mate. You're not a magician. Third tackle now for the Warriors, and they'll get this ball out to the 30. I did see your late comment yesterday about enjoy the emails. Did not receive one. Maybe you took my advice. So fourth tackle here for the Warriors, and they'll bring it out here to the 40 through Murata Niokore and Chance Newell-Klukstad out to the 45. Really impressed with Aaron Clark this year. Aaron Clark, for me, has arguably been, well, maybe not the best player for the Warriors. Luke Metcalf, there's a reason why he's on top of the Dally M leaderboard before it went behind closed doors. But Aaron Clark definitely isn't too far off Luke Metcalf. I just think that Metcalf plays in a spinal position. He plays in the key and critical position for teams to win games in the halfback. And like Metcalf had a lot of doubters and a lot of criticism coming into this year, and definitely earlier on in that first game against the Raiders. But geez, he's been able to absolutely crush it since then, and to be leading the Dally M leaderboard over some of these massive names in the comp, and also fourth tackle of the Panthers at 50. There is word that Nathan Cleary's not going to be playing in Origin Game 3, and Mitchell Moses is also injured, so that means that the New South Wales halves are going to have Jerome Luai in the 6, but now it's a question between, do you go with Luke Metcalf potentially into the 7 for New South Wales, or do you go with the Isaiah Katoa? Now, personally speaking, I would personally go with Isaiah Katoa. There'll be Chance Newell-Klukstad taken down here at the 10, but I can understand both arguments for it. Even says Tanner is very unlucky, to be honest. Sort of. Tan is a fantastic bloke. I love Tan. I would love to see him getting a crack here for the Warriors, but ultimately he wasn't able to prove a great deal at the Gold Coast, and I think that is a lot on the club itself. Good running by Roger Tuivasa Shekel, taken down to the 40. He wasn't able to necessarily prove it at the Gold Coast, and there's just no kind of way for him to prove it here, especially, that's going out to full. That's a 40-20 actually. Oh no, they've knocked it back in. But Thomas Jenkins is going to be taking down 1 metre out. That was a great kick there for the Warriors. Great kick. Fantastic. I want to see Tanner get a crack, but it's just not possible with Luke Metcalf doing what he's doing to Money Martin, Chanel Harris. They've got a lot of halves there, man. Mitchell says Metcalf wishes he was on Latufanu's level. Ah, yes, because Latufanu, he was able to really guide the Tigers to a win yesterday, wasn't he, Mitchell? Hey? Wasn't he? How did the Tigers not win that game, to be fair? With that momentum, I don't know how they didn't win that game. So 4 tackle for the Panthers at 15. Oh, I know, because some bloke decided to grab someone by the hair for some unknown reason whilst they had the complete momentum. Oh, by the way, 5th tackle here for the Panthers at 22. Outrageous that not you, Mitchell, but outrageous that Tigers fans on Instagram and social media have been calling Casey Badger an idiot for yesterday. The calls were correct. Like, I understand criticising officials and having your problems with officiating and whatnot. I'm all for it if there's a reason for it and it's valid. But yesterday it wasn't valid. You know, unfortunately for the Tigers, the calls that Casey Badger was making was correct. He was offside. And then also you've got people saying, well, the ball was kicked out for the 40-20 from Kotoi Sau and the bunker didn't intervene. 6 again over the Warriors at the 30, so first tackle, Dallin Watani-Selesniak. They're saying, like, oh, the ball, he put his foot out over the sideline and Casey Badger didn't come back for it. She literally can't. The bunker has nothing to do with that. You saw a lot of really casual fans come out last night talking about rules that they have absolutely no idea about. It was super frustrating because, like, Casey Badger's awful as an officiator, but yesterday she didn't do anything wrong. So Wade Egan gives it out to Aaron Clark. Aaron Clark to Luke Metcalf. They drop it out the back. Grass McGrath and knock on Panthers. This will be 6 again over the Warriors. Oh, I don't know if it touched his hands, though. So they're going to say knock on... Yeah, so they're going to say knock on Warriors first. I thought it didn't touch his hands at first. Michelle's up the wires. Mitchell says, are you really surprised? I'm not surprised, but, like, that's the point of having a platform here where I can talk about it. Like, I'm not surprised. Every game, every fan always... That's an awful turn. Otherwise, that would have been a 40-20 for Metcalf. But, like, I'm not surprised. Like, everyone always blames the referees nowadays, but that's why I come on here and I say, like, come on, man. You know, it's just crazy. Ibrahim says, with Metcalf on this massive rise. Yeah, Metcalf is definitely on a massive rise. Again, I would still lean with Isaiah Katoa for that number 7 spot for New South Wales if Cleary and Mitchell Moses are both out. Obviously, they've gone well away from Nico Hines now. He's had a couple of cracks at Origin and hasn't necessarily had the form for for Cronulla Sharks either, so I don't think they'd be going with him. I think that would probably be the incorrect decision there. And I like Nico, but I do think that he's had his opportunity. He hasn't really been able to take it by full grasp. Panthers here, quick passing, and they're away down the left-hand side. 6 again as well for Penrith. Back to Thomas Jenkins at the 30, 25, and it'll be first tackle here for Penrith, 23 metres out. Jarrell's up the wires. Jared Ford says, evening everyone. Happy and blessed Matariki. What is Matariki, by the way? What is Matariki? I have seen stuff about this on Instagram, but I don't know what it is. What is Matariki? It's like a big day in New Zealand for the Māori culture, no? Third tackle here, 5 metres out. Again, I'm completely really unaware, so, like, please educate me. Third tackle now, and they go out to the left-hand side. Schneider. And Panthers 4 metres away from the line. 4 tackle. 34 minutes to go here in the first half. Short ball. And Papali'i, he will be 3 metres away from the line on 5th tackle. Mitch Kenny gives it out to Brad Schneider. Schneider kicks it through here. Decent little kick, but, oh, well done chance. He gets out of the in-goal, and the Warriors will be 5 metres out from their own line first tackle. Ibrahim says, another battle for Dally M between Grass McGrath and Metcalf. I don't know, man. If I've got to lean towards who's going to win the Dally M this year, like... Grass McGrath has been spectacular. You know, he really has been put in a big shift. Didn't really get too involved yesterday as much as you would have thought for the Tigers, but, you know, in Knights games, in Titans games, in Eels games, he just has been showing just some unreal form, and I think it's generational talent from Grass McGrath. So Metcalf has been doing some fantastic things, but Grass McGrath is just something out of this world, mate. Just something out of this world. Oh, the Māori New Year. Okay, fair enough. I don't know why this is the first time I've ever heard about it. How am I 31 years old, have been a part of the NRL game for a long time? I don't understand how I've not heard of this before. All right, so Dane Laurie here, who picked this ball and take it out to the 35. That's on me. It's not anybody else. That's on me for not knowing about it, but I just can't believe I haven't heard of it before. So second tackle. Storm Fences says, hello guys, how are we? We're waiting to see Queensland win in about 2.5 weeks. Oh yeah. Oh yes. Yes, sir. Oh my gosh! If Queensland win that State of Origin game with a field goal, I think I said this in game 1. If Queensland win with a field goal in game 3, the shirt will be off. You know, we'll be lucky to have clothes on the stream. Fifth tackle at the 23. Jared Force, New Beginnings Day / New Year, Brighter Stars, good stuff. Learn something new each day. Learn something new each day, that's for sure. And the Panthers go, and that's a Warriors knock on here. That'll be a Warriors knock on. So it'll be 6 again now for Penrith. 30 metres out here from the line. Oh, it's still fit tackle. No, they knocked it back, so it's still fit tackle. I swear Dylan Martinez-Lesnau touched that ball, but sure. And Shans will be taken down at half a metre short here of his own line. Yeah, Klukstad's been very good to start this off at the back. I'm surprised they didn't say that Dylan Martinez-Lesnau played at that ball and touched it for a 6 again, though. Call of Duty says up the wuss. Today has been a shocker so far. In the opening 8 minutes here, we've had the Wires spelled W-H-A, and then we've also had a W-H-A-Z, and now we've got W-U-S. Like, I'm not too sure. I'm really not too sure. I guess the Wires, the Wires have been called that from Warriors fans, so maybe 2 years since 2023. Before that, it was a negative connotation against their team, but they've really taken over it and made it a positive now. But I'm surprised that there is so many misspellings of Wars here. It's not a big deal. It's just like, I don't understand why we've got wuss up the wuss. Oh, the wuss. I don't know if that's a real big positive connotation. So third tackle now at the 40. And Mitch Kenny for the Panthers, he'll go out to the left of Moses Leota, and Leota, okay, well, Jay, that's a bit of a different one, up the sheep shaggers. Oh my gosh, Warriors fans, get into him, rip into him. So 6 again now for the Panthers, and they'll be at the 20. Victor Fernandez up the Wires, exactly right, Victor, tell him, mate, tell him, don't let him forget it. Don't let him forget it. Spelling it W-U-S is a very interesting decision, considering that wuss is normally known as like a pussy kind of deal. Like saying up the wuss, I don't know about that one. So Mitch Kenny off to Moses Leota, and third tackle. And they'll be 3 metres out from the line. 10 minutes into the first half here, guys. 30 minutes to go the first half. Hit that like button and subscribe. They go out to the right-hand side. Isaac Tungo, he's going to be 5 metres away. Okay, Lucas, I'm going to reply to this in a second, you weird sicko. You are a sicko. So for this is a very, this is the Kiwi mindset, is it, Lucas? You're defending New Zealand. So the Panthers, they're 3 metres out. Has he been tackled? I don't know if he was tackled, but they just, oh, they'll be held up over the line. Well done defensively there from the Warriors. They're going to check this. Todd Smith, we all know that he didn't get this ball down. Just confirm he's always held up. Okay, no worries. I'm not going to look at the screen. I can confirm that he was held up. Todd Smith. Yep. I can confirm that he was held up. Okay, now let's actually look to see if I was correct. So he's a metre off the ground. He's a metre off the ground. He's a metre off the ground. And wow, I closed my eyes and I could tell you that he was held up the entire time. So thank you, Todd Smith, for wasting not only my time, but the entire country of New Zealand's time and the entire country of Australia's time. And also shout out Papua New Guinea. Well done, Todd Smith. Yep, no, the ball was only off the ground by about maybe 30 metres. It was about 30 metres in the air, Todd Smith. It was not even close to going down over the try line by about 45.5 metres. So thank you, Todd Smith. Warriors ball at the 10. No try. Who am I tipping for today's games? I tipped the Warriors in this one. There's no reason they should be losing, considering the Panthers have 5 of their origin stars out. No Kurt Capewell's out for the Wires, but 5 origin stars out. Then I tipped the Dolphins, but I do get a bit of an upset vibe from the Knights. I don't know why. I just feel like the Dolphins' run will halt at some point, and then it comes down to, it's like their form has been unreal. The Dolphins have been incredible, scoring nearly 150 points in 3 games, you know. I think they might have scored 150 points in 3 games. But at some point, they will not win a game. At some point, their attack will struggle. And my important factor to the Dolphins season is that when they hit that halt, when they hit that form slump, we got there in the end. When they hit that, it's about then finding the way to get back to where you were. Because every team will have some good form. Look at the Titans last year, right? The Titans were awful, and then they went through a run of like 4 or 5 straight wins in a row, which was just insane. And they lost the Sharks 44-0 at Seabus, and then just didn't find it again, right? And they were pushing up towards the top 8. They were fighting for the top 8, and then that game kind of just absolutely slapped them, and they fell away, and they didn't find their form again. So this is the only issue for the Dolphins this season. But I have tipped the Dolphins in that game, and I have tipped the Storm against the Rabbitohs. We'll be live for both those games, so we'll talk more about those when those games are on. So there's a head clash here between Maradania Corey and Adam Pompey. Pompey and Murata Niokore. Not Pompey. That was maybe Willa Graham Talfa. It was one of the two centres. I can't really see, but we've got a bit of a stoppage here. Solomon says, Matariki is fairly new. People still learning about it. I still forgot it's a thing every year until it's mentioned. You still forget it's a thing every year until it's mentioned. Are you Māori? Are you Māori? But yeah, fair enough. Like, when did Matariki start? Like, I love Māori culture. Like, I'm a big fan of it. I think it's awesome. I watched a great movie last year. I can't remember what it was called. I filmed a review about it on BKRtravel. What was that movie called? Jay, you would have watched the video over on Travel. Do you remember what that movie was called? It was about Māori culture and about 1870 or something. It's around a big year for you guys. But it was all in the Māori language as well. It was awesome. I never expected it to be as great as it was. It's actually one of my favourite kind of, one of those indie movies. Lucas says, you're not a real man till you've had a sheep, Jay. Lucas, New Zealand fans watching, you know, like, what do you want me to do here? What do you want me to do when I get... Lucas is a Kiwi, he's from New Zealand, and he's talking about, you're not a real man until you've had a sheep, Jay. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, how am I meant to not insult you? How am I meant to not say that you're a sicko? How am I meant to not say that New Zealand are living up to the sheep shagger name? Like, what do you want me to do here, Lucas? That one's ending to Lesnar with a great grab, and it's actually going to be a penalty to the Warriors. No! It's a penalty to the Panthers at the 20. There must have been a hit after the kick. So, geez, the Panthers have been on top this first 12 minutes. The word Tigers on my mind. Can't remember the move, but I do remember you saying it. Are you able to quickly just jump onto BKRtravel, Jay, and check out? It wouldn't. I've filmed a bunch of videos on travel, as you know. I've put a bunch of videos out. It wouldn't be too far back. If you go into the movie review section, it's actually Kawhawha Tonu. Is it Kawhawha Tonu, A War Without End or something? Something like that. Time's up the Waz. You better surprise everyone at home by winning this time. Why would this be a surprise? Kawhawha. That's the one, Ibrahim. I think it was Kawhawha Tonu, A War Without End. Incredible movie. All right, so second tackle, and it'll be Panthers now 9 metres out. We celebrated Matariki yesterday. It was so fun. Good stuff. Good stuff. So the Panthers now, they'll be 8 metres out, third tackle. Olivia says, I've had you playing the background for ages as I contemplated getting up from my nap. Well, that's a penalty. You can't run behind your own play. That should have been a penalty to the Warriors then. If they have to knock on, don't worry. No, the ball don't lie, baby. Ball don't lie. Ball don't lie. No, big fan! Slap him! Slap him! Give him a crack. Give him an uppercut, some bitch. That was a big push and shove. Give each other a kiss already. Hurry up. A Shrug Without End. That's the one, Ibrahim. A Shrug Without End. Kawhawha Tonu was Shrug Without End. Great movie. There was a biffo. Someone give an elbow. Throw an elbow, son. Get into him. Give an elbow. Give him a kiss. Give him a cuddle and move on. So why did this actually just blow up just then? So Watene Zelezniak just got... I don't know why Watene Zelezniak got upset then. That made no sense, but he was going up against McLean. I don't really understand why Watene Zelezniak has... you're not even... This person with this fake account, you're not even going to be here. You know you're about to get timed out just for your name. Just for you. Yeah, Jay's got rid of you. Like, you knew it. Like, you knew I was coming. And you can keep doing it all you like. you knew you wouldn't be staying here with a name with an S at the end of Storm. And also for feeder. Actually, I need to show Skunkle this. He might actually lose a brain cell. And he's only got one left. So I'm gonna screenshot that for him because he loves that. Alright, so the Warriors here, second tackle. They actually got a penalty out of that, mind you. And they'll be 50 metres out from their own line, or 50 at the halfway point, second tackle. Solomon says, nope, I'm Cook Island, but I was here, although my children half Māori. I've always thought it had something to do with the stars. I just learnt now on here that it's the Māori New Year. You just learnt now. Yeah, I learnt it today. I literally, just learnt it here today as well. I made fry bread for the first time with the kids. Never again. What on earth is fry bread? What's fry bread? Fry bread? Fit tackle, 18 metres out of the Warriors. Still 0-0. Close start here. Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. He'll give it off here to Luke Metcalf, not the greatest of kicks there. That wasn't even Metcalf. That was actually that was actually Harris Aveda, not Metcalf. Sorry. So first tackle for the Panthers. Now we'll say, and I said this about the Raiders last night against the Tigers, which ended up being true, and that's a penalty to the Panthers coming out their own 10. I will say this: the exact same thing accommodates for this game as it did for the Raiders and Tigers game last night. Raiders are a very good team this year, and if you think that you're a premiership contending team, you have to be able to win games that, one, you don't necessarily probably deserve to win, or that you weren't that great but you still were able to get over the line. But also you come into games like this against teams that are lower on the table, a lot of players out, 5 players out for the Panthers with their origin stars. You come in expecting a win, thinking that it should be a win, it's going to be a win, right? So you get complacent. Now, if the Warriors lose this game, it'll tell me a lot about their mindset long term. It really will. It'll tell me a lot about their mindset long term. If they go and win this game, well, they just need to go and win this game to prove that despite, no matter what, they're not going to become complacent against these lower-ranked teams. Because it's all well and good beating the Sharks 40-10 at Shark Park, but the Panthers not only are 11th position, have had an awful season. I hope I'm making this understandable. They've had an awful season. They've got 5 Origin players out. You would come in with the expectations. The fans can think that. The players can't. The players have to realise these still are professional players of the Panthers. They may not be as the superstar guys that they normally would have, but they're still professional players at the end of the day who get paid to play rugby league at a professional level. Third tackle with the Panthers 5 metres out. So it's very easy to come into this game, think you're going to win, and then get run over the top of it with the upset. So if the Warriors lose this, then I would say that it is a big sign that their mindset isn't necessarily at the place that they need it to be to win a competition this year. I would say that. But it's still very early in this game, and just go and prove yourselves right that you're able to do what Canberra did last night, not play too well overall, and still find a way to grind it out and win. Out of the left-hand side of the Panthers, McLean gets away from one, he gets it off to Thomas Jenkins. Jenkins here will score for the Panthers. It's 4-0 with a kick to come. 4-0 with a kick to come. So the Panthers do take the lead. They have been about 10 in the opening 17 minutes. Solomon says the sheep guy must live on a farm in the middle of nowhere because there's better things to do than sheep in the city. Solomon, come on, man. Apparently, you're not really a man until you've had a sheep. We've heard this from a Kiwi in the chat. Like, it's not even like insulting or banter. This was actually word for word said by somebody from New Zealand who's a regular here on the streams in the chat who's from New Zealand. So, listen, I'm not even going to have to do the banter today. I'm just going to let Lucas speak for himself. Lucas says, Solomon, I think the Stars have something to do with it. Well, there you go. David says, anyone can beat anyone this season. This season is wild. Sure, but that doesn't take away from the fact that it shouldn't be happening. That is the truth. And yes, anybody can win this season. But realistically, there is no argument here for the Penrith Panthers to win this game today. They shouldn't be doing it. So whilst you're right, and that anybody can win this season, the Warriors should not be losing this game. Panthers have 6 players out, 5 of them with Origin. Warriors have 2 players out, 1 of them with Origin. This is in New Zealand. The Panthers are in 11th. The Warriors are in 3rd, fighting for an equal 2nd position alongside the Raiders. There is everything going. Like, if you look at the attack this year, the Warriors have scored 291 points, which is not great. The Panthers, on the other hand, have scored 286, so they're still below the Warriors. Despite the Warriors having a lot of attacking woes, the Panthers are still below them by 5 points less scored. 1 second here. Paul Alamotti from the wing. Let's see if he can convert this one. He will miss the kick, so we'll say 4-0 here to the Panthers. So they've scored 5 more points than so far this season, and they've both played the same amount of games. The Warriors have conceded 256 points this season. The Panthers have conceded 295. So not too separate, but it's 39. So the Warriors are better attacking-wise. They're better defensively. Maybe not by incredible amounts on both sides. They're playing at home. They've got less players out. They're higher placed in the table by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Everything is going in favour of the Warriors here today. So whilst it's true that anybody can beat anybody, that doesn't then take away from the fact that the Warriors should never be losing this game. They should never be losing it. Solomon says, raw fish salad and fried bread, classic duo here. Ibrahim says, Jenkins has been amazing this season considering he only came in because of injuries. Yeah, Jenkins has been solid. He's been solid. I don't know necessarily how he would translate in another team. I don't think that he would necessarily. Where was he before? Was he at the Knights or something? I know Dasmate's a big fan of him. Dasmate's a big fan. Acidic says, throw Dalamatini to Lesniak in cup. He needs to learn how to defend, always trying for an intercept. Yeah, look, Martinez Lesniak's a fantastic attacker, but defensively, he does leave himself open quite a bit. He was Newcastle, thank you. Olivia Rube with the $8 donations. It's another day, another dono. Riddler Fun to join Streamer Wants a Wife. Yeah, no, looking forward to Streamer Wants a Wife. Looking forward to Streamer Wants a Wife. Roger, do a faster check is away here. Oh, good run to the 30. Got away by about 10, 15 metres or so. But thank you very much for the donation. And Penalty Warriors. Penalty Warriors is huge. That's big. Tom says, okay, Warriors win by 2, I hope. Well, yeah, just win. Doesn't matter how much you win by. So many fans only look at teams who get these massive wins. They only look and say that, like, for example, last night, I actually was more impressed how the Raiders were able to find a way to win that game than if they had won that game by 50. And the reason being is that when you're in the finals and when you're in the grand final, you're more often than not going to have games like that last night with a bit more quality. But games like that where it's a grind, it's a low scoring, it's super close, and you have to find a way to win it rather than just absolutely dominating teams, because you're not really going to find that too much in the finals. Maybe you might, but ultimately it's more about those close grinds. So I was more impressed with the Raiders being able to find a way to win that when they didn't play great in the second half at all, and the Tigers absolutely ran rampant. 4 tackle now at the 25. But I guess a lot more. You have to watch a lot of rugby league and a lot of sport to kind of have that thought process. So 5th tackle now at the 10. I give up it to Luke Metcalf at the 15. It's an okay kick, but it's a knock on Panthers and the Waz! The Waz will score with the knock on from the Panthers. The Waz will score. And they're going to take the lead too. They are going to take the lead too. Jackson Ford with the try time for the Warriors. Underneath the post. And it's about to be 6-4 to the Warriors. Knock on from the Panthers. Right into Jackson Ford's lap. And it's a bing bang boom. The kick from Metcalf was okay too. Like, I wouldn't say it was anything spectacular, but like it was okay. It just ends up being brilliant. Because Leka Halasima is coming through. Now, look, Leka Halasima does knock over the player going up the ball there. And they may look at it, but with that being said, it's only because there's a player from the Panthers who is in the way and knows what he's doing, who is in the way and impacts it. It's not like Leka Halasima is trying to get the tackle there of Isaac Tungo. He is going for the ball. It's just the player in front of Tungo has gotten in his way. So I would say this should still be a try, but I wouldn't be surprised if they look at this in the bunker, because I think he's going for it. Mitchell says, how's that not a disruptor? Because he is going for the ball. It's not actually Leka Halasima's fault for that. That's not his fault. Ultimately, it was the Panthers player who stood there. They've confirmed the try. Ultimately, it was the Panthers player who was in front of him that stood there, full well knowing that he was blocking off the play. So that's why it's been accepted as a try. If he had done that, and if that had been connected without that player there, then it would have been a no try. It would have been a penalty. But the only reason this has ended up the way it has is because there's an idiot Panthers player who is literally just standing in front to try and get a block, and then he's created that. So realistically, it's actually the Panthers player there who is in the way, his fault for the try, because otherwise I do feel that, was it Dan Laurie who dropped it? I think it might have been. He probably catches that ball pretty cleanly, because I don't think Leka Halasima would have got there in time. Alright, so 6-4 here, the Warriors, 90 minutes to go the first half. Hit that like button and subscribe if you're new. We're here for every single game live. Every single game live. David says, Panthers were paying $30 about 3 weeks back at Sportsbet to win the season. Now they are down to $18. I'm not putting money on the Panthers, even if they're at $1 billion. The Panthers aren't winning the comp this year. I understand people are nervous because they've brought themselves back up into the fold and they've brought themselves back up around the top 8. But look, there are better teams than the Panthers this year. It's just as simple as that. It really is just as simple as that for mine. With that being said, nobody has guaranteed their spot as the Premiers. Like, the Bulldogs are there, the Raiders are there, the Warriors are technically there, the Storm are definitely there. The Sharks are there, but like they're on scam for a reason. Sure, you can look towards the Panthers still, but I would not be getting on the Panthers by any means. Doohor says up the Waz. Ibrahim says with the way Metcalf is kicking, I don't know. What do you mean? Charlize says, how is Fisher Harris playing? Oh, here we go. The Panthers are away. Panthers are away at the 40, the 50, the 45. There's a chance here. Dane Laurie has to cut back onto the inside, and then he cuts out to the outside, back to the inside, gets the ball offloaded. Here's a chance to Blaze Talangi, and Talangi taken down 10 metres out, second tackle. Panthers, jeez, this is red hot right now. They go to the right-hand side. They step in, and it'll be 5 metres out. Brad Schneider, third tackle. Panthers with a huge couple of runs just then. And that's going to be knocked back here by the Panthers. They're 11 metres out. I'm surprised they didn't get to the knock on. 13 metres out, Mitch Kenny. Blaze Talangi, short ball. Pass the ball, Scott Sorensen. You pass that ball to the wing and they score on the wing. 3 metres out, fit tackle. Mitch Kenny across here to Brad Schneider. Schneider puts it up. It's in a good area. Knocked. Oh, Panthers will. I can't see if the ball's gone down or not. I don't know if this is a knock back here from the Warriors, a knock on from the Warriors, or a knock back from the Panthers. They're going to confirm who touches this in the contest, and then they're going to see about the try. But he's been held up for sure, I think. Okay, so here we go. Who touches this here? I think that comes off both of them, but it's definitely knock on from Harris Tavita. So it's a knock on there from Harris Tavita. So it's going to be a refresh tackle count. And then Moses Leota will push. You got Harris Tavita holding him up there. He's lost the ball. Yeah, he's lost the ball. So, but it will come back to being Panthers ball 10 metres out. It will be 10 metres out here for the Panthers. They nearly just scored the exact same try that the Warriors just scored themselves. But no try. Wait, sorry? Todd Smith has just said the Warriors knocked the ball backwards. Oh, well done, Todd Smith. We got there in the end. What the fuck did I just witness? My brain could not compute. I could not compute because there is no world that made sense in the slightest that the Warriors knocked the ball backwards when it went completely that way. So it is Penrith feed at the 10, but Todd Smith told the Panthers it's Warriors feed because the Warriors knocked it backwards, and I was just like, are you serious? But it's alright, so it's Panthers ball here at the 10. Oh, dude, officiating's all over the shop, bruh. Officiating just in the world, society, in life, in historical value. It's all over the shop. Alright, so the Panthers now 5 metres out from the line, first tackle. I think the bunker had to probably tell him in his ear, like, no, it's not Warriors ball. Alright, so Schneider now. It'll be Moses Leota. I just don't even know why in his head he thought, oh, okay, yeah, that's knocked back. It doesn't make any sense at all. And Isaiah Papali'i will be third tackle, 5 metres away from the line. 15 minutes to go the first half. They give it out to Schneider. Schneider then off to Garner. And Garner's 4 metres away from the line. I'm pretty certain Luke Garner's being touted to go somewhere else as well. Mitch Kenny, short ball off to Moses Leota. And they're going to be 5 metres away from the line. Fifth tackle. Fifth tackle here for the Panthers. Hold out here, Warriors. Your defense has been good this season. Your attack, not so much, but your defense has been good. Will that be a dropout? Yes. That'll be a dropout coming up from the Warriors to the Panthers. Olivia says the Schmonkos are there. The Schmonkos are not there. Schmonko's not there, Olivia. Olivia, Schmonko not there. No Schmonko. No Schmonko. Blizzy says Sharks win the comp. We're coming first. You said it yourself. I do recall pretty much every single Sharks game this year you having a meltdown in this chat, Blitzy. So I don't even think you believe what you're saying right now. Tackle in opposition 20 times to the Panthers, 4 times to the Warriors. Short drop out here. Good one too. I think that's a knock on there from the Panthers. And the Warriors are going to get the ball at the 20. Good work by the Wires. Very good work. RMB, the end of Origin Game 2. Remember the Origin? Yes, I streamed it. I was here, mate. Of course I remember the end of Origin Game 2. So it's a penalty here to the Warriors. Mate, it was 3 days ago. Why would I not remember it? Oh, I would argue there should have been a penalty to the Panthers there. Halasima comes in and actually shoves a player off the ball, but they didn't see it. It was actually really well done by Halasima to hide that. But either way, the Warriors got the ball, and now they've got a penalty, and now they're 40 metres out from the Panthers line, first tackle. Solomon says depth is such an important component in this era to stay in contention for the whole season. I agree. That's the problem with the Titans. That's the problem with the Eels. That's definitely the problem with Newcastle. Marana Niokore failed his HIA, so the Warriors are down to 3 on the bench, and Niokore will not be back for the rest of the game. Third tackle win over the Warriors, 20 metres out. Charlie says, no, the Waz winning the comp for the first time. Come on now. It'd be nice to see. I think there are better teams right now, but it'd be nice to see. I still think they need to prove themselves against the Dogs, the Raiders, and the Storm. They lost both games to the Raiders. They lost the Storm by a lot and haven't played the Bulldogs yet, so there's still a lot more proof there. But it was a great win against the Sharks, which was their highest win of the season. Was! Oh! Half a metre out from the line, fit tackle. Half a metre out. Wade Egan gives it off here to Luke Metcalf. Metcalf goes at himself. He's still going, kicks it through, and Panthers will get the ball at 2. Nice work there from Dane Laurie. Panthers are having such a shit year for their standard, they want to get rid of their best player. Oh my gosh, Mitchell's drunk again. Olivia says, not the Dogs. That is so sad. Jay would be devastated. Not the Dogs. Not the Dogs. The funny thing is Panthers' shit season is 10th. Well, 11th. They're 11th right now. But with that being said, you've got to remember that they are only 3 points away from last right now. So sure, you're right, but there's still, 13 odd games left of this season. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. 10 games left of this season. With a bye. That's out in the full from the Panthers. That's out in the full from the Panthers. So it will be Warriors ball at, I think, around the 50. Warriors ball around the 50. So, yes, the Panthers are currently in 11th, but 3 points away. If they lose this game, they're not going to drop off too much. If the Cowboys beat the Roosters and the Rabbitohs beat the Storm, they would actually drop to 13th, and one of the Titans Eels will win. If the Knights found a way to beat the Dolphins, then they would still be 3 points away from last, but they'd be 1 point away from dropping into second last, right? So a lot of context needed behind that comment. All right, 6 again for the Warriors, and it's going to be first tackle, 15 metres away. Look, Halasima, good run to the 10. Good run to the 10. All right, Wade Egan out to Aaron Clark. Luke Metcalf gives it off here to Chance. Chance at the back now to Pompey. Oh, nearly an intercept by Thomas Jenkins, but it'll be a knock on. So Warriors will get a fresh set of 6 about 12 metres out. Addy says Dolphins or Knights. I've got Dolphins, but I can see an upset. We'll be live for that game, so we'll talk more about the Dolphins and Knights game and the game after this. And we'll obviously be live for Rabbitohs Storm later on today as well. Don says they're 10th, but still a good team. They're decent. They've got a lot of problems, the Panthers. Even when they've got a full-strength team, they've been losing games this season. But this is the hard thing about this year. A mid-table team is 1 or 2 losses away from dropping into last, based off of the points, because even the teams in last, second last, third last kind of deal have still won a few games this year, comparatively to years where teams usually win 1 or 2 games by now, when the bottom 3 teams have all won 4 games or 5 games, and one of the teams who are on 4 will be on 5 wins by the end of this round. So it's not really a normal season in regards to that bottom of the table battle. Second tackle now for the Warriors. Wade Egan gives it out to Nickel Klukstad. Leka Halasima, good defense there for the Panthers. The Warriors will be 10 metres out from the line. 10 metres out. Third tackle. Wade Egan's going to go to the right, and Aaron Clark pushes off 1, pushes off 2, gets the offload away. Luke Metcalf, then off to Laban, and he'll be 8 metres out from the line. Fourth tackle, Wade Egan out to Metcalf. Metcalf gives it off here to Harris Tavita. Don't reach out. It'll be held short. He nearly reached out for a double movement, but it's fine. He doesn't go for it. Fifth tackle. Out the back to Metcalf. Metcalf kicks that one across. That's a better kick. That's a good kick for Charlie Krogstad. Drop ball Panthers. Ooh, it was close to a try, but it will be a dropout coming up here from the Panthers to the Warriors. Solomon says, whole bottom 8 are only a couple of losses away from the spoon. You laugh at that, but the whole bottom 9 for starters. But just a reminder that the Manly Seagulls and the Brisbane Broncos and the Dolphins are on 16 points. Now, the Dolphins probably beat the Knights today. The Broncos Sharks will be a good game tomorrow. But from at least 7 down after this round, you're more than likely going to be seeing 7th to 17th separated by 4 points, and 7th to 16th separated by Oh no, Warriors. They've allowed the short dropper go to the Panthers after letting it bounce. It didn't reach 10 and then it bounces across and the Panthers get it. So first tackle, now second tackle with the Panthers at the 20. So from 7th to 15th is going to be a 2-point separation. And from 7th to last place is going to be a 4-point separation. And it's a penalty to Panthers. That's an absolute schmozzle there from the Warriors after that last little play there. But guys, 10 minutes to go here in the first half. Warriors lead 6-4. Hit that like button and subscribe. And if you aren't following us on Instagram, go check it out in the pinned comment. Ben Harvard says, I can't even watch the video. Watch it. The video won't load on my phone. Are you talking to me or are you talking about the game itself? Tom says, Warriors vs Bulldogs is long wait this year. Yeah, but so is Bulldogs Storm. The Bulldogs and Storm have not played this year. They don't play until like round 21 or round 20. And then the Bulldogs vs Warriors don't play until round 23. So that'll be a big test there for the Bulldogs in a couple of weeks where they have to take on 2 top 4 teams. You know, they've beaten the Raiders, that's sure, but they were down 20-0 in that game before coming back to win 32-20. So I would like to see them play the Raiders again. I don't know if they do. However, Bulldogs versus Warriors and Bulldogs versus Storm will be good to watch. So Charles Klukstad, he'll bring it out here to the 22. Because we've seen the Bulldogs can beat all the teams down the bottom end of the table. And yeah, a couple of teams in the top 8 as well, but they haven't really been a great deal tested by the top 4 teams who haven't been really playing each other. Daniel Bay says, morning Blaze, going to be 30 degrees here today. How's it looking where you are? It's looking cloudy, but it's probably around 33 degrees or something like that. Nothing too crazy. I know 30 degrees in England is, you know, everyone's, you know, all the, it's like a heat wave at 30 degrees. Like a heat wave. Mitchell says, please use your inside voice, Tom. Yeah, why are we screaming, Tom? Why are we screaming? Why capitalising everything? John, their wins are very good wins. Whose wins are very good wins? Fit tackle. I'm frying here. Yeah, but at least you got some cloud cover with a bit of rain, mate, because obviously England always rains. So at least you got a little bit of rain around. And by a little bit, I mean torrential. And Panthers will grab the ball at the 9. Dane Laurie's been pretty solid at the back for the most part today, besides that drop ball, which you can't really blame him for because Halasima connects with him because of the Panthers player. Second tackle now for Penrith at the 10. The Origin players backing up today. No, this is in New Zealand. It's a knock on from Penrith at the 10. Knock on from Penrith. Yeah, that's my boy, Ez. That's my boy forcing the knock on. So Warriors will get the ball here 10 metres out from the Panthers line. 7 minutes to go the first half. If they're going to challenge this here, the Panthers will challenge it. They will challenge it. So captain's challenge from the Panthers. But no Origin players are able to back up today because of the distance from Perth to New Zealand. Yeah, this is probably going to be a strip here from Jackson Ford. This is probably going to be a strip. Oh no, what's Solomon done? Hold on. Solomon, unfortunately, you've got to remember on this channel, the rules are the rules, baby. Storm only has 1 S in it. There's no multiple S's. No multiple S's. I'm pretty certain this is a strip. They're looking at really weird angles, though. Oh, they're going to support the on-field decisions. The Panthers will keep their challenge, but I would have thought that was a strip. I disagree with the Bulldogs struggling with the wild style. I disagree with that one pretty strongly. But I do think that... I don't agree with that. I think that the Bulldogs style... No, I would say the Bulldogs probably... I wouldn't say that you guys are ones that would struggle with. I do think the Bulldogs will struggle with the Storm, though. But the Storm are very up and down. But we'll be proving this when the Bulldogs end up playing the Warriors in a few weeks' time. So Warriors now 8 metres out from the line, first tackle. But as a Warriors fan, of course, you're going to say that as a neutral, I look at it and say, no, I've probably got the Bulldogs winning that game currently. But there's a long time between drinks before we have to think about that. So second tackle here, 4 metres out. Wade Egan gives out the back here. And I would prefer the Warriors to win that, to be fair. And was 10 metres away, nearly a penalty. Third tackle. Oh no, there's an injury here. It's just an unfortunate position that he's been put in there. It's not illegal. Jacob Laban's just a little bit worse for wear getting up. They come over the top, and he just unfortunately gets bent back as his legs go down there, and then they complete the tackle. There's nothing wrong with the tackle. Just unfortunate. Come on, internet, up the wires. Yeah, plenty of wires fans here. Don't you worry. But at least we've got a good game at the moment. At least it's not just a complete blowout, which realistically probably should have been, but at least we've got a good game. So Wade Egan, and now the Warriors will be 2 metres away from the line. And it's 4 tackles. Wade Egan goes left short ball. Halasima will be 2 metres out from the line. Fit tackle. 2 metres out. Wade Egan gives it off to Harris Savita. He steps, he kicks it through, and good leave by Dane Laurie. Really good leave. So it's going to be a 7 tackle set now for the Panthers who get out to the 20. Daniel says the days of wrapping rugby league players in cotton wool has arrived, not backing up 3 days later. Mate, do you know how far Perth is to New Zealand? Do you know how far Perth is to Auckland? That game was played 3 nights ago. Perth to Auckland. That is the other side of Australia to another country on the other side of Australia. Like, that's a long trip. As an Englishman, like, you would have no idea of the distance that is involved there, because you guys can fly to Italy in like an hour or 2. You can't get from Townsville on the east coast to Sydney in less than like 4 hours. And that's on the same side of the country. So it's very... Yeah, you don't see this in the Premier League because they catch damn well trains between the two. If you're catching a train from Perth to Auckland, that's going to probably take about forever and a day. Like, it's a ridiculous comment. Like, if you're talking from Sydney to New Zealand, sure. Panthers here are 10 metres out from the line, 4 tackle. They go to it's ridiculous because it's not like this is Sydney to New Zealand. We're talking Perth to New Zealand, which is basically one side of Russia to the other side of Russia. Knock on there from the Panthers, and the Warriors will grab this ball here at the 10. No, you're not kidding though, Daniel Bay. Like, you are suggesting that is cotton wool, and it's like it's in this context, it's absolutely incorrect. I know you're kidding now because we've replied to you, but you weren't kidding in reply to it because players would back up if they're playing in Sydney and then playing in New Zealand, or a lot of players are backing up, but it's just that they're not legally allowed to back up, and the travel time is not possible. You're not, though, Daniel. You're only saying this now because we've replied to you and let you know that Perth to Auckland is too far and they're not able to do it. You're not. I know you're changing it now to try and say, like, oh, no, I'm joking. You weren't. It's okay. It's not that deep, man. So Wade Egan will get this ball here to the 48 on fit tackle. You tried, though. You tried to say that, like, with Premier League players and blah, blah, blah. Premier League and football is way different on the body to a rugby league player for first starters. Yeah, and they're away here on the left-hand side for the Panthers at the 40, the 45, the 50. They get back into Thomas Jenkins. Jenkins will be crunched. Oh, no, he still gets away. No, he'll be taken out the 40. So first tackle, Penrith. Crazy little finish coming up here in this first half. It's right, Daniel. You can pretend you were joking all you like. It's not that deep. Second tackle here at the 42. I can read the difference between comments here on this channel. Like, I've been here long enough to understand the difference. Just own it, bro. Like, who cares? Just own it. Third tackle now at the 30. So line breaks, Penrith 3, Warriors 1. Penrith go to the left-hand side. It's Mitch Kenny off to Brad Schneider. Schneider now to Talangi. Talangi that gives it off here. Scotty Sorensen. Scotty Sorensen. Try time to Panthers. Oh, no, Warriors. With 3 minutes left of the first half, they've given away a try. And the Panthers will take the lead 8-6 with a kick to come. That's a brilliant try there for the Panthers. They've been threatening to do it for a long time. Brilliant try. That is a brilliant try there from Penrith, and Scotty Sorensen will take back the lead for the Panthers. 8-6 with 2.5 minutes to go the first half, and Watani Lesniak is grabbing at his left ankle here. God bless him. I got a new cross yesterday, by the way. Bought a new cross out here in the Marcus and Hua Hin. There were some big gaps there. Well, there's been some big gaps in this game that the Panthers have been able to find. That's why they're at 4 line breaks so far. There's been some big gaps in this Warriors defense, which is not what you would expect. You know, coming into this game, the Warriors had given up 256 points, which is only worse to the Melbourne Storm and the Canterbury Bulldogs. It's only worse to the Storm and the Bulldogs. Now, the Warriors have played 13 games, and the Storm have played 12 games, and the Bulldogs have played 13 games, the Storm have played 12 games. But the point is that coming into this game, the Warriors' defense was the 3rd best defense in the league. Oh my gosh, why are you still going on? Daniel, bro, just own it, man. Like, who gives a fuck? Like, bro, just own it, man. Like, move on. Who cares? Like, why you care so much? We've replied. Yeah, it's changed. Bro, relax. No, it's not that deep, man. Like, no one cares if you're joking or not. We've replied with it. We've done it. Now, we've moved on from it. It's not just you. This happens a lot in this chat. I don't know why people refuse to move on from things that are very clearly done and dusted. We've clearly moved on from that part of the conversation, and it's like that you get offended. Who cares? So 8-6 here. We've seen a whole try in between that conversation now. We've seen an entire try. We've seen an entire 100-meter breakaway. We're still talking. We're still talking if we're joking or not joking about something that's pointless. Move on. So Paul Adamotti here from the left-hand side. Ibrahim says, my KO is very behind. I haven't even seen the try. Wow, you are well behind then. So Paul Adamotti here from the left-hand side. 1:10 to go in the first half, and he will miss the kick again. So kicks are unfortunate here for the Panthers in this first half. They've missed both of their conversions, and it's still only a 2-point game. But unfortunately for the Warriors, Watene Zelezniak is off the field. He has had to be helped off the field, and I don't know if he'll be back here today. So we've seen Tamati Martin come onto the field, which must mean he's probably playing in a centre position. They're pushing maybe Adam Pompey out to the wing, and then maybe they've got maybe Tamati Martin going into the centres. I don't know. I'm surprised that they don't actually put Alex Seymour into the centres. He could play there. He could definitely play there. But 8-6 here to the Panthers. That is a brutal blow here to the Warriors in that first half. Brutal blow just as it was clocking down. Okay, we'll bounce it to the 10. Now the Panthers are going to get one full set here before halftime as well. But this is real tenacious effort. This is real good tenacity here from the Panthers to be up in this game at this point, considering how many players they've got out. And this is why any game is up in the air. Sneaky field goal time. Why? A 9-6 scoreline halftime would be the weirdest scoreline I've ever seen. So give it out now to Schneider. Schneider to Scotty Sorensen, and 4 tackle at the 45. 4 tackle at the 45, Mitch Kenny. He'll go short side, Blaze Talangi, and then Talangi, he'll be at the 45. That's a great question, Olivia, why not? NJ, gee whiz, what are you, the same person? Are you two bots? Must be bots. Must be the same person, or bots. I like diversity. Yeah, look, we'll diversify your field goal dreams because you're not going to be getting them. So it's going to be halftime here at 8-6 to the Panthers. They do take the lead just as halftime hits, which would be brutal there for New Zealand. But I will say the Panthers were the better team in the first half. I think that scoreline is justified. I think it is deserved. The Warriors have come in here a little bit underdone, and they're probably they are saying they're a bit confused right now, thinking, what's happening. Because realistically they shouldn't be losing in this game with the amount of players out there for the Panthers. But look, a whole 40 minutes still to go here. The only issue for the Warriors is that they are not a good second half team. They were a great second half team against the Sharks, but on a consistency level, I haven't necessarily seen them have too many good second halves so far this season. But hit that thumbs up button, guys. Smack the thumbs up. Subscribe if you are new around here, and let's get into the stats to effectively prove why I believe it is the right scoreline considering what we saw in that first half. Now, the possession-wise was 55% possession to the Panthers, 45% possession to the Warriors, with 16.5 minutes for the Panthers in possession and 13 minutes 10 for the Warriors. Now, this is actually pretty crucial to look at. This completion rate actually goes against what I just said. 90% completion rate for the Warriors is brilliant. 20 from 22 sets they have completed. That is really good at 90%. The Panthers are at 68%. That is really poor. They're 17 from 25. They've had 3 more sets than the Warriors, but they've completed 3 less sets than the Warriors. They're 17 from 25, whilst the Warriors are 20 from 22. So completion rate-wise, it's actually crazy that Panthers are in the lead. But then again, I guarantee we look at all the other stats and it'll probably favour in regards to the Panthers. Now, all runs-wise, 103 all runs-wise. 103 to the Panthers, now 104. These will update at halftime. These are just a guide. But 104 runs to 80, in fact, with the Panthers having 1,000, now it's 105, so 1,068 run meters for the Panthers, 727 for the Warriors. So we have to go with the 25 runs to try and equalise it out. Now it's 26 runs with 1,078, so 26 runs separate the two, so you try to give 10 meters per run, so that's 260 meters on top of what the Warriors have now. So that's 827, 927, about 990, right? So if you give an equalization, it's still about 100 meters in favor of the Panthers. The Panthers are winning that middle battle if you equalize that out, right? So the Panthers are definitely winning the middle of the field with the run meters. Post-contact meters, though, the Warriors are crushing the Panthers. On the post-contact meters, the Warriors are destroying them. Through the 25, 26 less runs that they've had, they've still got 9 more post-contact meters than them. That's insane. 299 post-contact meters for the Warriors, 290 post-contact meter for the Panthers, and the Panthers have 26 more runs than the Warriors. That is a fantastic stat there for New Zealand. That's incredible. Line breaks wise is 4-1 Panthers way. Tackle breaks is 24-17. Okay, I know where this game is being won right now. So 24-17 tackle breaks, which means that both teams aren't defending too well. Warriors are a little bit better defensively from that because they've got 17 missed tackles rather than the Panthers have got 24. But here's where the game is being lost. Average set distance right now is 33.11 for the Warriors. And the average set distance for the Panthers is 43.59. So the categories are 25 to 30 meters per set. You wouldn't even spit at. It's disgusting. 30 to 35 is below average. It's not good. 35 to 40 is average. It's good. 40 to 45 is great. 45 to 50 is fantastic. And 50 plus is incredible. So the Warriors currently sit at 33.11, which is below average, not good. And the Panthers currently sit at 43.59, which is very good. It's above the average. It's very good. And it's actually getting towards the higher end of the very good category, which means they're getting towards the fantastic category. So the Panthers are absolutely dominating in the middle of the field, and that's what I was talking about with that. That's why you try to compare the two with the adding of the 10 meters per run to try and equalize it out. The Panthers are dominating that section. Now, play the ball speed is 3.47 seconds for the Warriors, 3.4 seconds for the Panthers. It's not fast by any means. It's not slow by any means. They're both just kind of at a very similar level, just kind of rolling through the motions. Offloads is 5-0. 5-0 here for the Panthers. And then you go to 4 dropouts, 1-0 Panthers way. Kick defusal is 60% for the Warriors, 57% for the Panthers. And the effective tackle percentage actually isn't too bad here for both these teams. It's actually not as bad as I thought. So 88% is what you want to be averaging at. That is the minimum. If you go below that, it's not good. So you need to at least hit 88% on the dot and above. The Warriors are at 88.14%, so they are literally on the brink defensively, on the brink. But it mainly comes down to the ineffective tackles here. So 208 tackles made for the Warriors, with 17 missed tackles and 11 ineffective. So that is 28 bad tackles in this game. Right, and you're going to be surprised when I tell you that the Panthers are 89.19%. So they've actually got a better defense here on the effective tackle percentage with 198 tackles made, but they've got 24 missed tackles. So you're going to be like, well, how do the Panthers have a better defensive effective tackle percentage by over 1% when they've missed 24 tackles to the Warriors 17? That's because the ineffective tackles is 0. The Panthers have not had a single ineffective tackle in this game. They've had more missed tackles, but no ineffective tackles. So 24 bad tackles for them in the first half, whilst the Warriors have 28 bad tackles in the first half. So that's why, with the Panthers making less tackles made for 198, Warriors with 208, that's why they're a full percent behind on the effective tackle percentage. Negative play, wow. Panthers are 9 errors to 2. That is awful. 9 errors to 2. And they're up 8-6. So, geez, if they can limit those, they're actually probably going to win this game. Penalties conceded is 3-3. Ruck infringements is 2-2. And inside 10 metres is 1-0 to the Warriors' way. So, you look at those stats, you say defensively, both teams are very similar there in a lot of ways. If you're talking about run meters, the Panthers are destroying them in the middle with a 43.59 to 33.11 in regards to set distance. The play the ball speed is very okay for both these teams, very normalised. Line breaks is what the Panthers are killing it at. Post-contact meters, the Warriors are absolutely destroying it at. So, very interesting game here. I would still be tipping the Warriors. The Panthers are making too many mistakes, but the Warriors are definitely not known as a second-half team. They are known as a first-half team, and to be down 8-6 at half-time, despite being a first-half team, is concerning with the Panthers having 5 of their origin plays out compared to the 1 of Kurt Capewell for the Warriors. But there you go. That is the halftime stats there. I'll still take the Wars, but geez, that wasn't at the first half. You shouldn't be down here. You shouldn't be down. But hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Joshua Price says, why are you in India for? Well, I'll give you an answer here, and I'll say that I'm not in India. That's why I'm in India. I'm not. I'm not in India. I'm not in India. I'm in Thailand. And then I'll actually be in Vietnam in about a week. I'll be in Vietnam in about a week. So I left India about 2 months ago. Well, at least Josh was closer than old mate the other day, or yesterday. He was saying, how's my Hawaii trip going? I was in Hawaii for 4 days in the beginning of March. We're now midway, late on in June, and I've been in 2 whole countries. I've been in Fiji since then. I've been in Hong Kong since then. I've been in India since then. I've been in Thailand, and I'm about to go to Vietnam. So, him to think that I was still in Hawaii was wild. Real Fan Sports, what up? Warriors lose, so the Warriors get a fraud alert. Oh, that's a shout. Oh, that's a shout. That is a big shout, actually. Wow, that's a big shout from the big old Tigers loser over there. Damn, that's actually a really big shout. I'll have to let the chat decide there. That's a good, because they shouldn't be losing this. Yeah, you know what? They will. You know what? If the Warriors lose this, they'll be on fraud alert. If the Warriors lose this, they'll be on fraud alert. It's a great shout because they shouldn't be losing this game. But it can't happen yet. It cannot happen yet. Ibrahim says, while we're at halftime, punch the like button like Tino punched Burton, because if you don't, you're a Muppet. That is correct. That is correct. You know, Burton's a Muppet, and if you don't hit the like button, you're definitely a Muppet. Massive Muppet. Probably, globalized Muppet. Real Fan Sports says, we're the same but opposite, hot as can be and raining. Sounds like England. KJH Sports says, when do you go to the US? Ideally, I'd like to be there in December, but I don't know. I live my life as I live my life, man. I choose, I'm trying to figure out if I go to Bangkok on Monday or if I go to Koh Samui. I don't know yet, and then I'm probably going to be heading over to Vietnam on the 30th of this month in about 9 days' time. But then I'd have to go from Phuket. If I'm going to Koh Samui, then I may as well go to Phuket. And it's I don't really want to go to Phuket. Koh Samui is more my vibe. Bangkok is on a crazier vibe, but I don't necessarily want to stay there until the 30th. And then Ho Chi Minh and whatnot. So yeah, look, I don't know. I just live my life. We'll see how we feel. We'll see how we feel. Jay says, you never really left the GC, did ya? What are you talking about? I never really left the GC, did ya? I don't even know what you're talking about. I know you're probably referring to the Gold Coast, but I don't know what I've said that's relatable. I don't know what I said that's relatable to that. And then Olivia said facepalm. I must have said something stupid. Joshua says, are you going to Australia? Probably not this year, man. I probably won't be there for the rest of this year. I was there in very briefly at the end of January and the beginning of February, but probably not, mate. No, I probably won't go to a Titans game until organisation changes, and there's nothing really tying me back to Australia yet. I will at some point want to come home at some point, but I don't know when. You know, I don't have a time frame. I don't have a necessity of when I need to get back by. I have more ties in Fiji, more ties in Chicago, and more ties in Vietnam than... And honestly, I have heaps of ties kind of around the world, but not necessarily Australia right now. Tristan Munro says, I'm in Vietnam right now listening to your live broadcast up the wires. Get around you, Tristan. Well, I'll be there next week. Heading to Ho Chi Minh, and then my dad lives in Vung Tau, so I'm going to see him for the first time in 7 years, which would be great. Whereabouts are you? Are you up Hanoi way, Da Nang, or Ho Chi Minh? Josh says, pick the Panthers and Dolphins and Storm. Why are you tipping them? Okay, the Panthers are leading at half time, but why are you tipping the Panthers? You're obviously choosing them at half time because pre-game you wouldn't have been tipping the Panthers. And Dolphins and Storm are obviously the favourites. But still half time here. I'm looking at some beautiful bacon on my screen. Ho Chi Minh. Theory me. Just call it Saigon. You know, I find that everyone who I meet from Myanmar still call themselves Burmese and Burma. Is there... are they very passionate about removing... I haven't asked them, actually. I'll ask a girl I know tonight who's from Myanmar. Jay, you'd know about this. Is that a very deliberate thing? Because I know, with Ho Chi Minh, they don't mind calling it Ho Chi Minh, but it was originally Saigon. So sometimes you'll hear Saigon, sometimes you'll hear Ho Chi Minh. But I don't think it's a passionate thing. But I feel like with the Myanmar and Burma thing, it is a passionate thing. Go to Persia. Yeah, Jay, probably not going to be going anywhere near Persia right now. Probably not going to be going anywhere near Iran. No. Just heading back to Hoi An from Ha Long Bay. Oh, nice. Nice stuff. It's a beautiful area up there. Francis says, go to Panther. Just the one Panther, or we're doing multiple? Just the one Panther, or how many Panther we doing? Just one. Last time I picked Raider. Yep, that was because they were the heavy favourites, Josh. You're not really going against the grain here, mate. You're not really taking any surprise winners because knowing you on this channel, you will always tip the favourite, but also knowing you're only tipping the Panthers because they're currently leading at half-time. Otherwise, you would have tipped the Warriors before the game. Because I'm still tipping the Warriors. I'm still tipping the Warriors to win this game. But with that being said, I'm aware of your comments. We see it all the time. Whoever's winning is who you're tipping. Whoever is currently winning is who you're tipping. Oh man, they keep advertising Vegas, and it's just like I'm just not excited for it this upcoming one. Like there was a little bit of something about Sharks Panthers, Raiders Warriors too. You know, the first games of Broncos Roosters and Rabbitohs Manly had a bit of something about it. But I just can't get behind and excited about Bulldogs Dragons and Cowboys Knights. Like I don't know. I can't find the excitement for it, man. Like, if you guys have a different, and I'm not talking necessarily Bulldogs fans, Dragons fans, Cowboys fans, and Knights fans, but like as a neutral, I know that we're going in 2027, so like I'll be there in 2027 again to watch my team play. And neutrals probably won't be excited about it when we probably take on the Eels or we take on the Dolphins. I think we're playing the Dolphins in 2027. But the point is that neutrals wise, you'll probably think it's boring then too. But this upcoming Vegas just doesn't get me going, mate. Just doesn't get me going. Hey mate, who you got tipping? Who you got winning this game from what you've seen so far? From what I've seen so far, probably the Panthers. But no, I think the Warriors win. So Must West says, bro, you're very well aware what the answer to that question is. You're looking for an illegal stream right now. What's the key word of those two words? Out of the two words of illegal stream, what is the most important one of those two words, do you reckon? Ronald says, can the Warriors come back in the second half? Absolutely. Absolutely they can. It's only 2 points. It's not even a comeback. It's literally just 2 points. Comebacks are like 2 tries and above. Like any people who refer to comebacks from anywhere 1 to 6 makes no sense because it's not a comeback really. Like it's just a 1-try game. Like it literally is just a penalty in this one. Muskboy says you can do it. Okay. Well, why don't you go and get a job and pay for a KO? How about that one? I gave you a nice answer. You don't like it? Well, there's your response, mate. There's your response. Gave you the same answer yesterday. We'll give you the same answer today. We'll see you in 5 minutes. Get a job. How about that? All right, so Laurie says, hi, Blaze. Haven't joined for ages. Worked with the Vietnamese beautiful people, but don't get on their wrong side. I was about to say, I don't usually get on people's wrong side, but I just told that guy to fuck off, basically. I love culture, man. I love appreciating new cultures and new sides of life. That's why India was so fantastic in so many good ways and so many bad ways. And I mean, a lot of bad ways, but there's also a lot of good things about India. It just depends where you go. And Thailand's been the same. They're two very, very separate countries, though. Two very, very, very separate countries. But yeah, Vietnam's going to be awesome. I'm looking forward to it. Especially considering that I don't even have to pay for accommodation because I'm staying with my dad. How good. All right, so second half's about to start here. Warriors coming out in the field and Panthers back out in the field too. Obviously, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Mark says, will I win the lotto? Well, if you choose the numbers 4 for my birthday, 28, 21 because I like the number, 13, and 12, yes. There you go. And if you need any more numbers, I'm righty. If you do win the lotto room at 10%, exactly right, Casey. It is a 10% fine here. It's like a bar fine. If you've been to Thailand, you know what a bar fine is. It's like a bar fine. You come in here, you tell me about your bet, and it's a bar fine. 10%. If you do, we want 10%. Yeah, exactly right. Lotto tariff. Second tackle now for the Panthers. And they'll get this ball out here to the 35. To the 35 with 39 minutes to go the game. Do not forget, we will be live for both games today after this, which is Dolphins versus the Knights in Perth. And then the third game today is Rabbitohs versus the Melbourne Storm. So we're going to be seeing plenty of timeouts because people don't know there's only one S in Storm. Just one. Just one individual one. Not multiple. No. Don't be silly now. You know what? When this game finishes, I've got about a 30-minute break in between. I'm going to go run and get some sushi. Panthers here, kick the ball over the top. There's a chance here for a try. Out of nowhere! Oh, this is going to be close. I think it's a dropout. here. Oh, Roger's saying that should be out to the 20. Maybe there's a knock-on from Penrith here, but out of nowhere, the Panthers at the end of that set nearly found a way to score. So Alamotti goes up, grabs at the 25, dinks the ball over the top. They're all on side from the kick. I don't even know why you're even thinking about that. You contacted on Alamotti is fine, and then Jenkins coming through. Oh, that's going to be knocked back there from the Panthers. It's still live. Okay, this ball's still live. Yeah, so it's initially backwards off Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, and then there's a knock on there maybe. This might come off the right bicep here of Luke Garner. This is actually really... I don't know what they're going to call here. I'm pretty certain that comes off... No, maybe it doesn't come off the bicep. It's actually play on at this stage. Who touched... Oh, then Tuivasa-Sheck puts the ball down there. Okay, so it's going to be a dropout. It's going to be a dropout, but that was a really hard one to come to. John Otter says, where are you from, mate? I'm from the Gold Coast, man. From the Gold Coast, but I'm currently in Thailand. John Otter says, Japan. No, honestly, the 7-Eleven sushi here is brilliant. 7-Eleven is great for so many things in Thailand, and the sushi that they make down there is actually really solid. Oh, they're going to knock this back, and the Warriors get it. The Warriors get the short dropout, and they'll bring it out to the 20. That's 3 failed. Well, it's 3 successful for the kicking team, but 3 failed from the receiving team. 3 successful short dropouts here from 2 from the Warriors and 1 from the Panthers today. Well, Tony Lesniak, he's not going to be coming back, so the Warriors are, mind you, down to 2 on the bench for the rest of this game. Because Marata Niukore is out for the rest of the game due to a failed HIA, and Watene Lesniak is injured with his ankle and he's come out. So, rough one here for the Warriors. Laurie says, if you win the lotto, you can buy the Titans organisation. I think you'll probably need a little bit more than that. But with that, well, to be fair, I don't think that Gold Coast would be too expensive. But still, look. And out to the right, Panthers will grab this ball at 35. He's from Madagascar. Big Madagascar fan. They've dropped the ball at the back, and this is going to be 6 again, actually, for the Panthers. Oh, dearie me. That was a big old attempt there from Jacob Laban, and then Leka Halasima will grab him at the 38. Should have been 0 tackle. I thought it was a knock-on there from the Warriors, but sure. Is that Tungo to the 45? Ariana says, what time does it finish? 37.5 minutes to go of the game. So, 37.5 minutes. All right, so third tackle now. And they'll give it out to... I'm not even sure what that is. Panthers now at the 40. Mitch Kenny. Off to Brad Schneider. Schneider then. And the Panthers not really making many meters here at all. They're 34 meters out. Go for a field goal now just to spice it up. Just to spice it up in life. And Panthers will get this ball at 30. Okay, well, John, settle. And that will bounce dead. That was an awful kick there from Penrith. It's going to be a 7 tackle set here. Yeah, John, you know that's not a good comment to make. Come on, do better. All right, so the Warriors now will get this ball to the 30 on 0 tackle. Blaze Salongi, that was one of the worst kicks I've nearly ever seen. It bounced like 4 meters short of the dead ball line and then just obviously bounced straight over the dead ball line. That was horrific. All right, so first tackle now at the 32. Jeez, I tell you what, Morocco is apparently set to kill 3 million dogs in a brutal cleanup ahead of the 2030 World Cup. Like, that's dreadful, man. That is just dreadful. Dreadful to see shit like that. You know, we all know about the human rights shit with Qatar, but like now we're seeing millions of dogs getting murdered just for a World Cup. Crazy. So 6 again. Yeah, I'm just going to do that too, Olivia, don't worry. So first tackle now for the Warriors, and they're going to be 30 meters out from the line. And they'll go left-hand side, Wade Egan up to Aaron Clark, and Aaron Clark to the 20. Gets away from a couple of tackles. Good run. And then we take it down about 17 meters out. Good bit of post-contact there, and this is why the Warriors are destroying in the post-contact battle in this game. Short ball was Jackson Ford, 7 meters away from the line, third tackle. 7 meters out, 6 again. Wayne Egan, short ball. Leka Halasima knocked it on. Oh my gosh, they just had a 6 again as well. On first play, Leka Halasima will knock the ball on. And it's going to be Panthers ball at 10. That's brutal. Yikes. That was their chance right there. With 35 minutes to go, that was their chance. Yeah, you'd be upset with yourself for that. Jackson forward, that strong run, but unfortunately it is on Halasima. It's not on Wade Egan. The pass was fine. I don't know if Halasima was actually expecting it as much as he should have been. So Penrith here at their own 5 now, brings it out here to the 15. So Penrith have had 7 errors, Warriors 3. That goes against what we've seen from the team stats on NRL.com. It said 9 errors at half time. No, it's 10 errors for the Panthers. Yeah, so Fox is wrong. NRL.com has got it completely different. Warriors seem a bit frazzled today. Well, so this is, Olivia, this is what I was saying about last night. I mentioned this before. Games like this, fans can have their expectations. Knock on Panthers. Knock on Panthers. They might challenge this. I don't think they're going to. So it's going to be Warriors ball here at the 25. So what I'm saying is that, and the Raiders-Tigers game last night is the exact same. Fans can have their expectations. Fans can say, we're going to win this game. Oh, it should be an easy game. We're going to smack the Panthers. They've got 5 Origin players out, blah, 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 blah. Easy win for us, right? Fans can do that. Players cannot. And I do feel like this is a very easy game here to be complacent. Ooh, the challenge probably would have been unsuccessful. But a very easy game to be complacent, come in and actually get run over the top of. Now, the Tigers nearly did it yesterday, but it's actually more impressive to see the Warriors win a game like this than to win a game by 40. And it's more impressive the Raiders were able to win a game by 2 points yesterday whilst not playing too great and still find a way to win. A sign of a championship team, a team who wins competitions, are teams that face adversity when they're not looking good and still find a way to win, despite the other team arguably playing better or at least playing to the same standard. Warriors now, Alasima with a strong run with 5 minutes after the line, third tackle. Like they usually say, win ugly. Like they usually win ugly, but they have a better first half and then die in the second. Correct. Right hand side, short ball, try top of the wires! Try top of the wires, Jacob Lehman will score. And it's 10-8 with a kid to come. The Warriors take back the lead at 10-8. And that's a nice little short ball there from Luke Metcalf. Oh, no, he's injured. No, he's not. Is he alright? You don't want to see Luke Metcalf get injured, man. God bless him. But Jacob Laban will score close enough that it should be, it definitely should be a conversion here. So Warriors take back the lead, 10-8, 33 minutes to go here at the game. Winning ugly is not better if it's consistently winning ugly, but winning ugly on the occasion is very positive. Like, you want to have those games against the Sharks where you beat them 40-10 at Cronulla. And you want to have games where you win by big margins. But you also want to have games like this that you weren't good in the first half. You weren't great in the game. You've had a couple of injuries against you, which makes it even harder because of tiredness. And you still find a way to win it. So this will be an impressive game for the Warriors to win, even though the Panthers shouldn't be in this game. Just like the Tigers shouldn't have been in that game yesterday. But they were. Jared says, hope you're doing well. I forgot what these games felt like. What are you talking about? You've had one big win in recent history. Outside of that, you've had a lot of close ones. So 12-8 here to the Warriors with 31.5 minutes to go of the game. Unless, did you win a big game before that? I'm pretty certain you've only had one big win nearly this year. Yeah, so you had that big win against the Sharks, 40-10, but besides that, you had a close win against the Rabbitohs, 36-30. Close loss to the Raiders, 16-10. A close win against the Dolphins, 16-12. A close win against the Dragons, 15-14. A close win against the Cowboys, 30-26. A decent enough win against the Knights, 26-12. A very close win against the Broncos, 20-18. Got pumped by the Storm, 42-14. A close win against the Tigers, 26-24. A close win against the Roosters, 14-6. You had a decent enough win, 36-16 over Manly, but got pumped by the Raiders. So I don't know if you would have forgotten. I don't think you'd be forgetting the feeling of close games. Laurie says, like our Queensland won ugly, but a win's a win. Correct. Correct. And anybody who says otherwise is just salty their team lost on Wednesday. A win's a win. Especially when, mind you, the Queenslanders were 4-1 underdogs. They were 4-1 underdogs to win that game in Perth. So fourth tackle now for the Warriors. They'll beat the 40. 30 minutes to go here of the game. The Warriors need to win to stay equal with the Raiders in second and to be in touching distance of the Bulldogs up there in first and avoid dropping into fourth with a loss here if the Storm were to beat the Rabbitohs later on today. So 30 minutes to go. Hit that like button and subscribe. And if the Panthers lose, they can be dropping down into 13th potentially if the Rabbitohs win later on today against the Storm. Panthers are away. Pull Alamonte. Alamonte he's still going. Taken down to the 35. First tackle. Panthers need a win to avoid going to 13th and dropping below a couple of teams, like maybe the Roosters, is it? No, not the Roosters. Cowboys who play the Roosters and the Rabbitohs who play the Storm. But a massive game here mainly for the Warriors in my opinion. The Panthers will still be there or thereabouts regardless. Alright, so Panthers now, they're 35 metres out. Fourth tackle. No, they got the offload away and Brad Schneider here. Still third tackle. And there's a hospital pass, and they're going to lose about 15 minutes from it. That was awful. That was awful. 1 second here, guys. All right. Now fifth tackle. The bye messed with me. And to be fair, it was 3 weeks ago, but it's like in the context of the season, it wasn't that far. And that's going to be let to bounce, but Roger will grab the bounce, and it'll be 10 metres out from their own line of the Warriors, up by 4. I think Greg Alexander's spirit is with the Panthers more so than the Warriors. Okay, sure, yeah, I agree. Greg Alexander is more so known for his Panthers days than his Warriors days, but extremely random comment, but sure. Third tackle now for the Warriors. Aaron Clark has to come off the field for a bit. And Charles Neil Klukstad, he'll bring this ball out to the 40 on fourth tackle. Still very close, though. This is a very... Oh, Wade Egan with a great set. If he hadn't got that ball offloaded, they actually probably score under the post. So Stowers Smith came on for Aaron Clark. And Chanel Harris to Vida. Kicks that ball down to the 15. Jay, it's a bit weird, eh? I know you know what I'm talking about, Jay. A bit weird. Bit old weird on that one. Second tackle here at the 20. Mitch Kenny, he'll go out to the left-hand side to pull Alamonte. And Alamonte will be at the 28 on third tackle. Surely the Warriors, they hold out from here. Surely. Hopefully this is a good sign that the Warriors are changing around their second half fortunes. It's been weird for a while though, to be fair, Jay. Dayton Laurie will be at the halfway point on fifth tackle. Oh yeah, Olivia, I do this all the time. And people who watch the channel frequently would be aware of what I'm saying without me saying it. It's just that the people... the people who aren't necessarily regulars here won't know what I'm referring to, but if you're a regular, you're very well aware of what I'm referring to. Probably, to be honest with you, Jay. Laurie says, what's been your favourite meal on your trip? Oh, that's a good question. I think it's a lal mas in India, to be fair. Warriors here, third tackle, get this ball to the 28 on their own side of the field. Yeah, it has to be a really spicy lal mas in Udaipur in India. Like, Thai food's great. I love Thai food. But... I would say, yeah, lal mas, a bit of lamb, spicy lamb curry in Udaipur, which is a beautiful city in India, was fantastic. Jay, you're probably spot on, actually. How long have you thought that? How long have you thought that? So Panthers here will be at the 10. And Dane Laurie at the 15, because you don't get too much past the old Jay Hayes. It's hard to get one past. Since he walked in. Alright, so the Panthers here will get this ball to the 22 and spoke. Second tackle. Now third, and it'll be at the 25. Offload 7-1 Panthers way. So the Warriors haven't been locking up the ball too much. And they're looking for the offload there. Couldn't get it. Fourth tackle. Yeah, like I do love a good... Oh, that's a good offload. That's their 8th offload. Mitch Kenny off to Brad Schneider. Schneider fakes it with the little flick, but he'll be taken down to the 45, fifth tackle. Yeah, I would say that going to India, I would have thought that butter chicken was going to be my favourite because I do love a good butter chicken. And it was good butter chicken in Delhi. Knock on Warriors. So Panthers are going to get a fresh set of 6 here. Isaac Tongo. He's going to be 15 minutes out. Okay, Panthers. Here's your opportunity to either tie the game up or to take the lead. 4-point game. Panthers up to Brad Schneider at the 20. They get off to Moses Leota. And Leota now, he'll be 11 metres out from the line, 12 metres out from the line. Jay says he had Navy cadets today. He did a mischief and he had to... Lindsay Smith, here's an opportunity. Goes to Grassy McGrath with a big play. Grassy McGrath. I don't know if he's got the Dally M points on this one so far, Grassy, but at least he's putting his name out there. Blaze Talungi, second tackle. Now Scotty Sorensen, 6 again for the Panthers, 10 metres away. 6 again. And the collective groan from the crowd goes up. 5 metres away, second tackle, 25 minutes left. Big defensive set here for the Waz. And Liam Henry, he'll be 4 metres away from the line, third tackle. Mitch Kenny goes into the line, disagree with that play, but Moses Leota gets the ball offloaded, hits Grassy McGrath. Brad Schneider gives it out right. They've got quick numbers, quick hands. Inside, pull on Motti. He's still going. Oh, 2 metres out. A little bit of a kerfuffle there, but the Warriors were able to find a way to defend it in the end. Isaac Tunga goes at himself here on fourth tackle. I think he'll be held up. He will be held up. So Panthers will get the ball at the 10, fifth tackle. Good, scramble defense here from the Warriors, considering. Amos says 2025 Warriors. Now we've got worries. So we've had Waz with. We've had Waz spelled W at 1 second. Panthers here, fifth tackle. We've had Waz spelled in a whole many different ways today. Panthers will score! Out of nowhere, Scotty Sorensen with a double. Scotty Sorensen goes up, and this should be a Panthers lead here at 14-12. Scotty Sorensen will score a double, and the Panthers are about to take the lead with 24 minutes to go here. Wise fans, you're in shambles right now. You've got to find a way. Hey, the 2-point field goal's an offer for you, Jay. I know you're excited. Scotty Sorensen, what a game he's having. He just, positions his body beautifully. That was unreal. And then just does a nice little ballerina spin move and scores right next to the post. The Warriors versus the Panthers. So we've had Waz spelled W-A-H-Z. We've had Waz spelled W-H-A-Z. We've had Waz spelled W-U-S today. We've now had the Warriors called the Worries, which is W-A-R-R-I-E-S. What else have we missed out on? Jared Forces probably polishes a... So tie game here, but it's about to be... and now we've got Tom Foley saying up the Was with the W-A-S. Oh my gosh, But Paula Alamotti should take the lead here for the Panthers. He's 0 from 2 on goals today. Just a reminder, though, that Panthers have scored 3 tries to 2. They have scored them more tries here today. It's just their kicking game has been atrocious. And he will make the conversion. So it is 14 points to 12 in favour of the Penrith Panthers. JFMO says, oh boy, I've really shut myself in with this one. Well, Warriors fans, you're used to this, aren't you? You are used to the heart attack special. I know that Jared Varmoni pretended like he couldn't remember it despite only having one big win in recent memory, which is against the Sharks. Outside of that, all your wins have been extremely close. So put your seatbelt on, buckle up, mother bish, and get that beer into you and smack it down because you're going to need it to survive this last 23 minutes. Because you are going on fraud alert if you lose this game. You do go on fraud alert. Because you shouldn't be losing at home to a team with 5 Origin players out. And the Panthers are not even on this table here. Just throw it out there. Yeah? Show it out there. So second target over the Panthers. Pakali says Panthers will win. All right, guys, comment in the chat. Who do you think wins from here? It's only a 2-point game with 23 minutes left. Second tackle for the Panthers at the 23. And it is going to be maybe a biffo. Fisher. Throw one, James. Throw one. Give him a left. Give him a jab right to the noggin. Come on. Jeff Hartman says, I was living in another land, I'll admit, after that Sharks game. Well, you are living in another land, to be fair. Because that game was in Cronulla and you're living in New Zealand. The Georgia Gophers win. Georgia Gophers not actually playing here today, Olivia. Not playing. But Warriors with a great grab on the run, too, from Charles Neal-Klokstad. And he'll be at the 40 on first tackle. And it says, hey, how is everyone going? Oh, now we've got another misspelling. Oh, my gosh. What is with today? Today has just been the misspelling kingdom. This has been BKR misspell English. Today on this chat has just been outrageous. It's out of control. So third tackle for the Warriors. They'll be 38 metres away here from the line. The game's on 9 now for me. No game on Saturdays on 9 now. No game on Saturdays are on 9. Fourth tackle here for the Warriors. They're 25 metres away from the line. Wade Egan, he'll go out to the left-hand side. And Tanner Stowers-Smith will be 15 metres out. Fifth tackle, only a 2-point game. Wade Egan out to Harris Tavita. Harris Tavita puts that one up in the air. Really high kick into a good area. Knock on for the Panthers. 6 again here for the Warriors. No, fifth tackle still up in the air. And it's going to be... Oh my gosh. I thought that would have been a 6 again, but apparently not. But it's going to be a dropout regardless, so ball don't lie. Panthers to drop this ball out to the Warriors. And Nikhil says, I'm not stressed yet. Plenty of time. You should be stressed. It's a 2-point game right now. What is Blaze Talungi doing? That is outrageous that he even thought to pass that ball just then. I can't believe he's done that. That is so silly. There is no argument for that. I don't care how much of a rookie you are. There is no argument that he even thought about that. Alright, so Brad Schneider, there's no way you keep this short. Oh, I disagree. I disagree you do that. But then again, oh! And it actually worked out. I disagree with the decision to do the short kick there, but regardless, they've actually got the ball back from it. So that's two successful short dropouts to the Warriors and 2 successful short dropouts to the Panthers. So although I disagree with the intention to go short here when you're up by 2, regardless, go, like, fuck me, right? Like, they got the ball back. So third tackle now at the 40. And it'll be fourth tackle at the 43. Tom says, like I said, Waz win by 2 points, I hope. Well, it's not out of the equation. 4 point. If they miss their next conversion, doesn't matter how much they win by, man. 1, 2, 74, 160, 69, doesn't matter. Warriors get the offload away, and Chance Newell clocks out of the 20, the 25, the 30. Great run by the Chance. Jared Ford says, it's time for the halves to finish this game out. Come on, Warriors. This is where championship teams are made. Games like this. Games like this is where championship teams are made. Where you don't necessarily deserve to win, or you haven't played that great at all. You're still okay competitive-wise to deserve a win still, but you haven't played that great. It's games like this that make the big-time teams. Fourth tackle, because this is what finals games are going to be like. Games like this, against the Storm, against the Bulldogs, against the Raiders, against the Sharks. These kind of games is what you're also going to be seeing in the finals. So this is where championship teams are made. Fifth tackle here for the Warriors at the 30. Just like why I was impressed with the Raiders win against the Tigers yesterday, despite their lackluster second half. Harris Tavita puts that ball into the corner. Knock on Panthers. That's a penalty. Oh, do you take the 2 here? This is a hard kick, though. It's from the left-hand sideline, but it's a penalty to the Warriors here. They can decide to go for the 2 and try and tie it up 14-14, or they can go for the try here. And it's not an easy kick, but it's like... Yeah, he is offside, and he does grab it, so that means that it is a penalty. I wonder what... They're going to go for the try. They are going to go for the try. It's risky. I actually would have... I probably would have gone for a 2 here. But, like, I get it. I get going for the try. I get going for the try, but I think that regardless, you get the ball back as long as the ball goes out, and you tie the game up if you get it. I probably would have gone with it too. But, like, I definitely also agree with going for the try. I don't think there was a wrong decision there. Second tackle. The only thing if there's a wrong decision is if they knock it on the first 3 tackles. So, second tackle now, 1 metre out from the line, and Jackson Ford will be 1 metre out. Wade Egan. They get to look at Metcalf, right-hand side. Here we go. Was! Oh, intercept by Tom Jenkins. Tom Jenkins away here at the 15, the 20, the 25, the 30. And that was a wrong decision not to go for the penalty. And the Panthers will be taken down at the 50. Jenkins gets to the 50. I genuinely believe you should have gone for the 2. I do believe it. Second tackle now for the Panthers. I think that you take... If you miss the kick, you still get the ball back. It's just a drop out from the 20. But anyway... that'll be third tackle now with the Panthers at the 33. And then that intercept is brutal, especially for Jenkins to get all the way out to the 50. And now the Panthers are the ones on the attack. Moses Leota, he'll be 25 metres out from the line, fourth tackle. Aloris is coming to Waz. Tough one now. They give it off. It's a good run by Blaze Talungi. Good hold-up play there, but he's still going to score. Oh, no! I think he scored. I thought he did nearly knock that ball on, but the Panthers are going to score, and this is why I said to go 42. This is why. It's all great in hindsight. I will admit this. It's all great in hindsight to say this, but I think you should have gone for the 2. So 18-12 with a kick to come. And, geez, they get this conversion, and it's going to look really tough here for the Warriors to come back. With that being said, the Panthers have missed both their kicks from, interesting angles, whilst their only kick they've gotten was from basically right in front. So I do think they should get this, but it won't... no, he should get this. It's not as far out. Not as far out. Get around you, Brenton. It's been an interesting one. The Warriors are... They're on fraud alert potential. I mean, you go for the 2, you only time things up. Warriors still have time. Okay, so Andrew, I want to ask you a question. So it was 14-12, and they're on the line. It's out on the sideline. If you miss the kick and it goes out, you still get the ball back. If you get the kick, you tie them at 14-14. Why on earth would you not go? Why on earth would you think that just because you have time? So you're telling me if the kick is in from right in front, you're not going for the 2 and you're going for the try. Every time, 100% of the time, if that ball is in front of the post, you are taking the 2 in that situation with 17 minutes to go. Because right now, the Panthers are now up 18-12 with the kick to come to make it 20-12. Will be 8-point game. Instead, it would have been 14-14. So where's the logic there? Where's the logic of the Panthers still have time? Because now instead of it being 14-14, it's now going to be 20-12 more than likely. So where was the logic there? Like, it makes no sense. You've been on a strange one recently, Andrew. I'm not going to lie. You've been on a strange one. Like, take your comment and understand that if that kick was from directly in front of the post, do you think that in any world, in anyone's mind, they're not taking the 2 to tie the game at 14-14? It's got nothing to do with time they didn't take it. Well, they just believed in their attack. But the reason why they didn't take it was because of the sideline, which is why I understand that they went for the try. I can understand that. But it's got nothing to do with what you just said. Absolutely 0% to do with what you just said. Whether it's 2 minutes to go, 5 minutes to go, 20 minutes to go, 40 minutes to go, 100 minutes to go, they're taking the 2 from in front every day of the week. It's just that the kick wasn't from in front, it was out by the sideline. Laurie says, that's it, change the Wild's home venue. So the Panthers now bring this ball out of the 20, it'll be first tackle. 15.5 minutes to go. What does the time have to do with that just then? Second tackle with the Panthers at 30. I don't think so, but that's my opinion. Well, they're down 20-12 right now. Well, you think that the Warriors aren't taking the 2 to tie the game up 14-14 if they're directly in front 20 minutes out? What? What? Tell me a team that's done that. Tell me a team in the second half, down by 2 from directly right in front, 20 metres out, would not take the 2. Tell me a single team this season that has decided to not go for the 2. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, Andrew. First tag. It's not an opinion. No single team in the entirety of the NRL this season has decided to go with what your opinion was there. Not a single team. Why? Why? Why, Andrew? Why do you do this to us? Why do you make us sit through these comments? You compared Dom Young's try to Hamiso Tabuai-Fidow knocking the ball on at the 40. Two completely opposite incidents. Well, I can't even remember what you were saying yesterday, which was the most confusing thing ever. And now we're talking about you saying that they're not taking the 2 from right in front, down by 2 with 17 minutes to go. I can't deal with you, Andrew. You make me lose my mind. You make me lose my mind. It's painful. You're painful. You're painful. He's not rage baiting though, Dom. He's not rage baiting. This is genuinely how he thinks. He's not rage baiting. That's why it's so rage. That's why I rage at it, because he's not intentionally rage baiting. He's just saying ridiculous things, and that's his opinion. And I just don't know. I don't know how to survive it. Anyway, Warriors second tackle here at the 22. Holy shit. You know? Holy shit. Warriors here on third tackle, and they're 33 metres out. Oh, man. That's fraudulent, 100. You take the 2, you reclaim fresh possession and time control next minute. And even if you miss the kick as well. Oh, my gosh. All right, so fourth tackle here at the 28. And Aaron Clark is going to bring this ball out to the 13, fit tackle. We love you, Andrew, but fuck me, you get me going, mate. So Wade Egan gives it off here to Luke Metcalf, and Metcalf kicks that ball out. And it's going to be knocked back here from the Warriors, and that's going to be knocked on from the Warriors. So we Panthers ball at 10. Levi says, why the Dragons on fraud alert? Were they really ever expected to be that great? So Dragons fans demanded us last week to put them on fraud alert when they lost the Dolphins by 56 or whatever it was. The Dragons fans demanded it. But don't worry, they're not going to be they're not going to be in this table for long, because if the Panthers win this game, they go above the Dragons, they drop off, and then they're off fraud alert because they're not even on the table. If we all agreed this will be boring, oh my god, I can't, I'm not reading your comment out. I can't even do it. I refuse at this point. You're just not listening. You never. Third tackle here for the Panthers. Holy shit. Like, there's Parramatta fans, and then there's Andrew's level of Parramatta fans. There is Parramatta fans, and then there is Andrew Backhouse's level of Parramatta fans. Holy shit. So, right-hand side for the Panthers, they'll be at the halfway point. I think going for the try is better. I even say this for my own team. But you're wrong. How is it better? They are now down by... Okay, no. You're unhelpable. You're unhelpable, Andrew. You're unhelpable. How... Chance gets his ball to the 30. You're unhelpable, mate. You're unhelpable. So, right-hand side, and it's going to be Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. There is 0% of the world that... from 20 metres out right in front, that you decide to go for the try in that situation. 0%. There's not a single team that will ever agree with you. There's not a single team that would not take the two from right in front to tie the game up at 14-14. Not a single team. With 17 minutes to go. Fourth tackle here, 33 metres out. Can't believe this. So out to Fisher Harris, and Fisher Harris is 25 metres away. Fifth tackle. There's still time, Warriors fans, by the way. There is still time. Luke Metcalf kicks his ball into the corner. And good chase in, but good tape by Jenkins. And they'll be 5 metres out from their own line here, the Panthers. This is why Parra isn't successful. Nikhil will get around his son. Pagali says, will the Panthers be in the top 8 after this? Yeah, they will. They'll go to 6th for now. They would go to 6th for now with a win here. But the Broncos still play the Sharks tomorrow. The Dolphins still play the Knights today in the game after this, which we'll be live for. And the Roosters still play the Cowboys. So if the Roosters win, the Sharks win. No, so the Roosters win, the Broncos win, and the Dolphins win, then they will go to 9th. But for the time being, they'll be in 6th after this game, if they win this game. Fifth tackle now for the Panthers at the 40. And that will be allowed to bounce. Oh, no. And the Warriors have just lost. Oh, my gosh. The Warriors just lost the game. Hey, how's that no-2 looking for you, Andrew? How's the no-2 looking for you? So, 24-12 here with the kick to come. How's that no-2 going for you? You think it's all right? So, instead of going 14-14, it's now 24-12 with the kick to come to the Panthers. 10 minutes to go of the game here, guys. Hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. How's that not going for the 2 going for you? You think it's the right decision still? Do you think that not going for the 2 to tie the game up and get the ball back is still the right decision? 24-12 with a kick to come to Panthers. Dom says they scored 2 tries for the game. You think going for the try is better than levelling it up with a quarter of the game left? It's astounding. But again, this to really clarify for people who might be a little bit confused by this, it's not this situation that we're complaining about with his ideology. We're not complaining about the Warriors not necessarily taking the 2 from the sideline. I personally would have gone for the kick from the sideline, but I can understand not going for the kick because there's a chance it doesn't go out on the full for them to get the ball back, and it's also a difficult kick from the sideline. So that's why I can understand with the Warriors in this context not going for the 2 and going for the try. I still disagree with it, but I understand it. The issue is that we've tried to move, for the context of the conversation with Andrew, the ball from the sideline to directly in front. And his argument is there's still 17 minutes to go, you go for the try, down by 2, which is the most outrageously absurd take that I've ever heard in my life, with 17 minutes to go. So, and then they've gone from that, they didn't take the kick, they threw an intercept, the Panthers have scored again, and if they convert this try here, it's beyond 2 tries, it'll be 26-12 game instead of it being 14-14. This is why we're replying like this. This is the conversation. So just to really encapsulate everything, it's not having a go at the Warriors for not taking the 2. We're pushing the ball inside to assume if they got it from in front, they would be taking the 2, like every team in the world has ever done ever in the history of mankind. So just to really encapsulate all that. So Panthers here will make the kick. He will make the kick, so it's 26-12 and probably game over. With 9 minutes to go, it's probably going to be game over. Chad Fun Money says, as we say many times, Wayne Bennett was an advocate for taking the 2, and I'd say he did all right. Correct, but like it's not even Wayne Bennett's not the only one taking the 2 there. Every Tom, Dick, and Harry is taking the 2 from right in front. But this is a big win here for the Panthers. This is a big win. If they can hold out from here, which they should, it's 2. And by the way, the Panthers have scored like 3 more tries than the Warriors today. It's just they've had bad kicking. Yeah, they have. The Warriors have scored through Jackson Ford and Jacob Laban. So, that's going to be in front of the kicker. It's a penalty to the Panthers. So, Jacob Laban and Jackson Ford have scored. But for the Panthers, they've had Thomas Jenkins, Scott Sorensen, Blaze Lungi, and Pulana Motti. 5 tries to 2. Now, it's only basically a 2-try game. Basically. I know there's 14 points. But basically a 2-try game. So, it's just that they're bad kicking. Noel George says, with the time lost, the 2 points will be in favour and maybe the score wouldn't be out by 2 tries. Noel, I know you get this. I know everyone gets this. It's just that we have a regular here in Andrew who seems to refuse to understand common sense. But I know that anyone who watches rugby league is very well aware of what we're saying. Second tackler at the 15. But he's just been on a hat-trick. This Mr. Andrew Backhouse has been on a hat-trick of confusing the living shit out of anybody with a living brain cell in the last couple of days. It's just been, he's been on an absolute rampage of just confusion. So Panthers now 10 metres out from the line for tackle. Don't forget, guys, we'll be live at the Dolphins-Knights game in about 40 or so minutes' time after this game finishes. And the Panthers are going to be a metre out from the line, fit tackle. Slapper says, surely Warriors go back to blaming the ref after this game. No, I think Warriors fans in this game will understand that they just probably haven't been good enough. That's going to be a knock on there from... I don't think Jackson Ford's tried it. I think he was making a tackle there, Panthers. I don't think you need to be getting upset. I don't think Jackson Ford did anything wrong. But I think that Warriors fans surely are watching this game and thinking it just hasn't... It's been one of those games. And unfortunately... I do have to put you on fraud alert a bit. I do have to put them on fraud alert here. That doesn't mean that I think that they're completely done for the season. It just shows me a lot of their mindset because the Panthers had no Nathan Cleary. They had no Liam Martin. They had no Dylan Edwards. They had no Brian To'o. They had no... Who's the other one? There's 5 of them. Cleary, Edwards. It's a penalty to the Panthers. They're going to take the 2. So no Cleary, no Edwards, no... Brian To'o, no Liam Martin, and there's another one. Who's the other one? Oh, Isaiah Yeo. Isaiah Yeo's the other one. So they've had 5 of those players out. You don't really include Summerson, but like those 5 players are out. Warriors at home. They've scored more points than the Panthers this year. They've conceded less points than the Panthers this year. They're in 3rd place, whilst the Panthers are in 11th place. We've all known about how the Panthers have been really all over the shop. You know, so... The Warriors had there was nothing that should have led with the Panthers' way here tonight. But this is what I've been saying for a long time now. Every stream I say, the Sharks game was great, and that was brilliant. And the Warriors are missing Kurt Cape, well, sure. But one game didn't prove a great deal yet. The Warriors have not convinced me overall to back in them 100%. They are a top 4 team this year for me. They're not going to just continuously lose games and lose games and lose games and then drop out of the top 4. It's not going to happen. They're still 6 points ahead of the Sharks if the Sharks lose. But the point of the matter is that the Warriors are probably going to drop to 4th because the Storm probably beat the Rabbitohs here tonight. The Warriors haven't done enough to convince me when the going gets tough that they're gonna get it over the line. So I've seen more out of the Raiders this year. I'm still waiting 100% on the Dogs, but I've still seen more out of the Dogs this year. And the Storm are just the Storm. But I would say that the Storm haven't really proven a great deal yet, but the Storm are just the Melbourne Storm, right? Ibby says this might be... It's not going to be a stupid question, don't worry, bro. But this might be an incredibly stupid question, but I haven't watched footy recently. Why the Broncos frauds? Well, basically, the Broncos have had a really, really rough season. They haven't been great so far at all. By the way, Panthers ball here at the 45. The only team they've beaten recently has been the Titans, who are 17th place and have looked awful this season, and they are at home. But they've had some really, really poor games. Reece Walsh has been bad. The Broncos have been in an absolute shambles. They've lost big games, and the Broncos were expected to be a top 4 team this season. I had them for 5th. Yes, I had them for 5th. But the Broncos were expected to be a top 4 team this season, and they haven't showed anything of the sort to be a top 4 team so far this season. So they are currently on frauds. Fraud alert. If they beat the Sharks tomorrow, then they'll be off fraud alert. If the Sharks beat the Broncos tomorrow, then the Sharks will go off scam, and then they'll be on fraud alert. That's like one step down. So I hope that makes it understandable. Noel says we need a 5-minute hat trick and 2 penalties. Yep, well, 4 minutes and 23 seconds to go. Good luck. Casey says, how embarrassing for the Warriors. Doesn't contest for anything, leaves Metcalf on, decides to pass up the 2 points that would have tied it up. Instead, they leak a try on the same set. That's just embarrassing. Don't disagree, but again, whilst I would have taken the 2, you can understand from the positioning on the field why they didn't take the 2. But I personally still would have taken it because I back in my kicker. No, the Warriors have had bad conversion kicking, to be fair. But it's not been too bad recently. I would have backed in Metcalf. I would have backed him in. And I just would have made sure the Warriors players were chasing it. I just would have made sure that our teammates were chasing it just in case that it didn't go out, and it would have, ended up being a 20-minute dropout. The Panthers going to be moving to 7th? No, they're going to move to 6th, Nikhil. But there's a chance if things go against them with other teams' results, they could go back to 9th. But regardless, they're there and thereabouts. Another knock on there for the Warriors. It'll be Panthers ball at the 30. 3.5 minutes to go. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe. Bizarre criticism will be epic. What would be epic? But yeah, don't think that because of my reaction to Andrew that any question is an incredibly stupid question. It's not. he just can't. It's just an Andrew Backhouse thing. And the only time we'll say things are a stupid question is if they're intentionally stupid, which we get a lot of here. But any question in regards to the actual footy is any question that's, 1, not from an account that says Andrew Backhouse, and 2, that is not intentionally just trolling and whatnot, is not a stupid question. Casey says, classic Warriors, though, goes back home, red hot favourites and lose to an undermanned team. You're not wrong. Jared Force says, all they had to do was set the 2, fraud alert warning. Again, no guarantee they get it, but I would have taken the 2. Well, Lucas says, although I would have taken the 2, let's not ignore that the game swung because of the bounce off Jenkins' hand that turned the knockdown into an intercept when he knocked the ball down to save the try. Yes, but he intentionally went for the intercept, so it's like he intentionally did that, and the Warriors gave him that opportunity. Forward tackle now. So whilst you're right, that still just happened. You can't hide from that. That was a decision the Warriors made. They decided to go and pass that ball out to the left-hand side, and Jenkins decided to try to go for an intercept, and was able to get the intercept after a knockdown. And that's just simply on the Warriors. And then guess what? The Panthers scored on that set. And they went and scored again. So, yeah, you're right. But that was a decisive decision for the Warriors to knock over the 2. A decisive decision for them to go out to the right and to pass that there in a risky situation. If it comes off, they're heroes. If it doesn't come off, they're absolute fraudsters. And guess what? It didn't come off, so they're fraudsters. Oh, here we go. Tamati Martin with a great run there. Grabs the short dropouts. That's 3 successful short dropouts for the Warriors. 2 successful short dropouts here for the Panthers. Who do I have winning Cronulla or Brisbane? I think the Sharks as underdogs will win, but there is no guarantee. That is the hardest game to tip this week because both teams should be better than they've been doing this year. Both teams should be better. Oh, the Warriors are away here with a minute 10 to go. They're at the 30, the 25. Oh, no, this is going to be painful here for the Warriors to see. Oh, he nearly lost it, but Adam Pompey will score. No, sorry, not Adam Pompey. It is Moala Graham Talfa. Moala Graham Talfa will score here with the Warriors and brings it back within 12 points, but the game is over, lads. But 28-16 here for the Panthers with a minute to go. Ibrahim says they need to bring Tanner on the bench. His goal kicking is amazing because you don't miss. Tanner don't miss. Noel George, unfortunately, there's only one S in Storm, mate. We'll be live streaming the Storm game tonight against the Rabbitohs, and the reason I'm going to reply to this is because it's relevant. But would the Storm push us down a spot? But we have a rule on the channel, only one S in the Storm at the beginning. If the Storm beat the Rabbitohs later on today, yes, the Warriors will go into 4th because your points differential is poor. This is what we were talking about the other week where a Warriors fan was trying to say, as long as we're winning games, the points differential doesn't matter. Yeah, well, if you lose one game, your points differential does matter. What am I seeing moving out here? I'm like, I'm on a balcony. How am I seeing things move? But it was just closed. So yeah, the points differential, they're plus 171. With that kick, you're now 10 points down, so 28-18. So you're plus 35, you'll get a plus 25 with this loss, whilst the Storm, with their plus 171, if they get a 30-point win, they're plus 200. They're way better than all three of the teams above them points differential-wise. So yes, any team that loses in that top three is super susceptible to the Storm jumping you. The Storm are effectively 6 points above the Sharks, but they're only 4 points above the Sharks on the basis that they're not going to overtake them points differential-wise. The only team even close to the Storm points differential-wise is actually the Dolphins, who are on plus 146 from their last 3 games. But yes, if the Storm beat the Rabbitohs later on tonight, you will drop into 4th, the Warriors. Logan Paulsik says, bloody hell, what happened, Warriors? Scam, scam, scam. They're going on fraud alert. They do have to do it. They do have to do it. They do, unfortunately, have to move into the old fraud alert. And I think Warriors fans understand it for the time being. I think they understand it for the old time being, my friends. So, they're on the alert. They're on the alert. So that's going to be, because Raiders would have gone on the alert yesterday if they lost. But there you go. Final score here is 28-18 to the Penrith Panthers. Very undermanned Panthers side with none of their Origin players able to get a big win against the 3rd place Warriors and pushes the Panthers into 6th position now for the time being. Now they just have to hope that the Rabbitohs lose. They have to hope that the Broncos lose, and they have to hope that the who's the other team? Roosters. Yeah, the Roosters, the Broncos, and the Dolphins. They need all 3 of those teams to lose, but that'll be a tough one. But there you go, guys. I appreciate you for tuning in. The Warriors, they're in 3rd. If the Storm win tonight against the Rabbitohs, which we'll be live for, then the Warriors will drop into 4th. If the Storm lose, then the Warriors will stay in 3rd. And it will be funny because the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th will be 28, 26, 24, 22. So, yeah, interesting scenes up there at the top of the table. Panthers keep themselves in the hunt for the top 8. Thumbs up, subscribe. I'll see you in about 30 minutes time. About 30 minutes time for the next game, which is the Dolphins and the Knights coming to you from Perth Stadium over there. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Catch you later. See ya.